Hey, everybody. Welcome to tonight's show. This is your host, Mike, joined by his lovely wife, Firecracker on Two Wheels, our co-host, Bagger Bader, and our special guest tonight is JS. So if you're catching this stream live, great. If you happen to be catching it later on a podcast replay and you would like to be a part of the live, make sure you go on to YouTube, find Riding in the Ozarks, subscribe, make sure you hit that bell for all so you'll be notified when we do lives. And then you can participate in the live chat like everybody else and have a whole lot of fun with us. So we got quite a few people in the chat already tonight. Looks like, Ray's Moto Life was here early. Asked how everybody was doing. Let's see who else is in here. Evil Rick was here. Let's see if he's still here. Looks like Evil Rick is still here. He just said hi 87 to 87 Ricer, who's now in the chat. We have CFS NWA. Now, Firecracker, do you remember at Switchback, I was talking to a couple guys in the parking lot out there. I believe that is one of those, and the other one was Hillbilly. We were talking about flatheads and stuff. I met him at Switchback and found him on Instagram. So Witchcraft Cycle Works is in the house. Two Wheelin' Tom is here. Buck Champ said, congratulations, Mike and the missus. Sorry I missed your wedding in person. I watched the video when I got home from Cozumel. Good to be home. Well, we're glad you're back, Buck. So that's kind of what's going on in the chat here. CFW, and that's Chase. That's who CSFW is. NW. That's Chase. He rode the Gull Wing and was sitting with us at the Cat House. Y'all remember Chase, right? He raced me on the Gull Wing. We'll talk about that in a little bit. So we're going to talk tonight about Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue. Kind of give you a recap on that. We'll share some info about the biker wedding in case anybody wants to know. I've had a lot of questions about that and people commenting and stuff. So if they have questions, we'll share a few pictures and stuff for those that are interested. Maybe start off, we'll talk a little bit real quick about some biker news stuff and what events are left this year. I know for us, me and Firecracker, we've got an event this Sunday called the Rat Run. I think that's a little far for you, Bates. It's over in St. Louis, and Jay's probably not going to make it. But I did a video on the Rat Run. If you guys haven't watched it, you need to. It is a event that's been going on for 30, 40 years, created by Joe Sparrow. It's a really cool event. It's kind of a bar hopping event. It started out as a thing where he was on a raggedy ass bike that they weren't sure how far it would make it. It was called the Gas and Go, and they'd fill it with gas and then tape the gas cap shut. He'd ride till he ran out of gas or broke down. So have you guys heard of Shady Jack's in St. Louis?
Yep.
So Shady Jack's is closed, but that used to be the starting place. So it's going to be a little different deal for us this year. We'll see how it goes. Oh, I see Music Man's Ride said, what's up? We got Behind Rudy's Fairing in the chat now as well. XAN Biker is here. We missed him at Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue, but I do know he was there. 03 Road King says, what's up, y'all? So
I've got a rumor.
You got a rumor?
Can't confirm nor deny, but I'm in Kansas City, and I've been told by multiple sources that Jason Kelsey and Taylor Swift are watching tonight from his condo.
Oh, are they? That's what you heard. They're one of the 30 eyes that are on us, but they're using aliases, right?
That is, I can't confirm nor deny.
You can't confirm nor deny. Well, that'd be interesting. So, that was I guess a big deal. I saw a few posts about it on the internet. I don't get that excited. I'm not really that big of a fan. JS, so are those Chiefs colors? Is that what you're saying?
No. Do you recognize the cup?
A dear friend of mine got this for me a while back, and I use it every time I'm at the house.
Nice.
Well, I've got my riding in the Ozarks Cup. Now that Bagger Bader has a logo, maybe
he needs to give me a sticker.
Mike, bring your cup back up.
I will. I'll get you a sticker.
Yours is a little bigger than mine.
I'll have you one made, Bagger Bader, and it has the biker square on the backside.
Okay.
Mine kind of swells at the end.
This entire week we were together, I had those stickers, and I never did give you one. What the heck?
You had stickers, and you didn't give us one?
Yes, I had stickers.
The whole time.
I know.
You're rookie.
I know.
Tell
The
him.
Cat House may have one. Switchback may have one. So there are some out there.
Sinister Clutch is in the house. He said, "What up, folks?" Military Biker said, "Howdy, howdy." So picking up some more people here and stuff. I did a video here a while back about the safety recall on the Softails, and I had a few people messaging on that and commenting about what it is and what it is, what particular bolt. And anyway, I got a guy that here in Missouri that got it done, sent me some pictures, so I may do a follow up on that. But for people that don't know, Harley Davidson just had a recall for 65,000 Softails for and the bolt is actually on the shock absorber adjuster. Different articles said different things. The one I first read said on the shock absorber, it said referred to as a shock absorber fastener, but it's actually a fastener for the shock absorber adjuster. And all they're doing is taking a bolt that has no nut on the end of it, taking it out, drilling the hole out bigger, putting a bigger bolt in with a lock nut and a airplane nut on the backside. So anyway, I put a video out today. If you guys didn't hear it, and let me know if you think this is a big deal. But BMW has shut down sales for all motorcycles in North America, new and used models.
I think that's big news because they were doing a lot of advertising through content creators. When I watched your video this morning, I was surprised big time.
Well, I know Sinister Clutch in the chat, and I heard that he rode a couple of BMWs this weekend down at BBB. So we know it is got to do with a part or materials used in the evaporative system. So whether the evaporative system is something to do with like a catalytic converter or something else, I would think they would have to be that because they're not all water cooled. So I don't know exactly what they mean by evaporative system, but they talk about materials. So that makes me wonder if it's like the precious metal stuff inside the catalytic converter, because that's of course why everybody steals them and shit. So True. Anyway, that's all it really says, but what surprises me is it's all new and used motorcycles across all dealerships. So it's not just something like recent and some recent change. This would have had to been something they've been using for a long time that suddenly they're concerned about it meeting compliance.
Yeah.
So we got HD Riders in the house. Those are HD Riders who joined us for the wedding. Dave Bingham said hello, Mr. and Mrs. Thompson. Jay, good to hear y'all. So, I don't know how long they'll have this voluntary thing. This is a voluntary thing. They weren't shut down by the government, but I mean, we make a big deal out of Harley shutting down for a week at production. Some of these dealers I know are probably multi-brand, so they got other things maybe they can sell, but you still know that's got to kind of hurt to be like, well, we can't sell these bikes and they're sitting on our floor with inventory. And imagine if it's a used bike, that means the dealership probably bought it and out of their own pocket. And now BMW is saying you can't sell that. So I don't know.
BMW has great name brand recognition. A lot of people love riding a BMW because of that logo. I thought this was shocking news, and hopefully it's short-lived.
Did it sound like did it sound like that they were having a part produced and it they thought it was made of one material and it turned out it was not?
It just says that doing to a concern, I think is how it was. I read the exact thing in the video. You can go watch it. I put the text up on the screen even. But it had to do with the materials used in the evaporative system. Didn't talk about what years, what models, or anything, but it's like a complete shutdown of all new and used BMW motorcycles, except for that wonderful little electric thing, which is another reason why I'm saying it's got an evaporative system. It's got to be, and materials used. That to me sounds like catalytic converter. Because the materials used in the rest of the motor are pretty common materials, I would think, aluminum, magnesium, all these things everybody's using. The catalytic converter is the only thing I know that's using precious metals. So I don't know. It's kind of funny. But it made a lot of news, a lot of headlines. So we'll see what's up. Ray said, "Firecracker on two wheels. Hey, congratulations to you. You know he married up, right?" Thanks, Ray. You're a good friend, buddy.
You put some
Always
precious
paranoid,
metal on
right?
April's finger over the weekend.
Yeah, he
Well,
did.
that's not all I did, but we were not going to get kicked off YouTube just yet.
And she can legally assault you now, brother. Be careful.
That's called domestic assault, right?
Then take half your shit.
Yeah. I brought her some more pots and pans tonight. Brian
worked like a game,
Taylor
huh?
said, "What's up, Mike? Good to see you guys. Hope the wedding went well." In reality, I went to make grilled cheese last night, and she didn't have a flat skillet, like griddle skillet for cooking grilled cheese on.
Yeah.
I'm like, "What? You ain't got one?" So the old house still has all my dishes and stuff in it. My parents' house that they're remodeling, I hadn't got them out of there yet because at the time my daughter was staying there some and everything when we were moving back in February. So since I was stopping by there earlier, I grabbed her some more pots and a flat griddle for me to make grilled cheese on. So I guess let's talk maybe a little BBB first. I mean, now one of the things that I wanted to talk about, we all know that they said that the weather was going to be raining every day, right? I mean, there were a lot of people worried about the rain before we got there. Did you guys see those kind of posts and people asking about it? And was you guys all paying attention to the forecast pretty close?
Yeah, I watched it for 2 weeks out.
Yeah, I mean, I was concerned, but I know that it seems like every year I go down there, there's a threat of rain, and usually it ends up being pretty good down there. So I wasn't
Right.
sure.
So you guys just win anyway. That's what we do. I mean, but I guess my point is, I was talking to Kyle from Pig Trail today, and they thought business was maybe down a little because of the rain. But I was talking to someone else today who talked to the drag specialties rep that was down there, and they said their sales were up. And at Sturgis early on, we heard that sales was up from the vendors because when it rains, people can't go ride. So what do?
Mm-hmm.
Go check out the vendors. I mean, they can walk around in a rain suit or with an umbrella or a hat on or whatever and shop and spend money and not, I mean, they might get a little wet, but they're not maybe as risky as trying to ride the Pig Trail in the torrential downpour. But, I think it's interesting. The rain can help the vendors. It may keep more people away. But, I mean, realistically, how much rain did we have? Did you guys hit anything coming down Thursday, Jay?
No, we were prepped and ready for it, but we really didn't. We didn't run into anything. We had a rain gear on the top just in case, but nothing.
Firecracker, what we hit rain when we got up and rode in it Friday morning?
I don't remember.
Yeah,
I was going no matter what.
Yeah, because you was getting a tire put on your bike. So, you were going anyway because you were getting a tire put on your bike. But yeah, we rode over to Rogers in the rain intentionally to get a tire put on. But, we rode back and we had rain, maybe halfway back a little bit, and it kind of cleared up. And then we were good the rest of Friday till late when we were at the bar and it come a torrential downpour. But we were already, that was already like 11 o'clock at night. It was, we were already in a limo taking the limo Uber. By the way, in case anybody's wondering, Fuzzy's limo service can fit 14 fat ass bikers in one limo.
That's the rumor.
That's no goddamn rumor. I count them.
We didn't drive anywhere. We just tried to fit in there, and then we got back out. We didn't want to. That was too dangerous to drive like that, sir.
No, right. I got video footage. It happened.
Well, we had Thursday night, like Bill said, me and Bill were out dancing in the rain outside of the cat house. And then Saturday night, me and you danced in the rain to our song that we were supposed to do a slow dance to out in the rain, and everybody videotaped this. So,
yeah, but like we had rain Friday day. We had a little bit Friday night overnight. We had clear skies on Saturday till 11 o'clock. It was almost 11 o'clock or something like that when it started raining there Saturday night. And we were at the back of the motel by then, and we danced in the rain intentionally. Yeah, they say if it rains on your wedding day, it's good luck. It washes away like all the bad juju from previous relationships or memories or some shit. Um, I I don't care. I didn't mind dancing in the rain, so we had a good time. It was a lot of fun for us.
Well,
And
I
it
can tell
was
you this: if I ever get remarried, there's gonna be a flood.
blood. You're gonna need one. You need me to come pour a 5-gallon bucket over your head. Maybe slosh it. Maybe just stick your head in the bucket and slosh it around a little bit.
Yeah, I only caught rain Friday afternoon from Jasper. I took 16 highway from Jasper over to the Pig Trail. And other than that, I stayed dry.
We're gonna give a shout out. We got a new person in here tonight, John Keithy here, new to the chat. Welcome to the channel, John. We're just kind of recapping, but I guess kind of my point. And the reason I brought the whole rain thing up is, people will say, "Oh, the weather doesn't look good. I don't know if I'm going to go." How many times we've rode to Eureka Springs in the rain once or twice. Did it ruin our trip? Was it no good? Is that what you remember? Is the 3 hours in the rain down, or do you remember all the other good shit that happened?
Right on. Yep.
And that's kind of my point to people who maybe are thinking about going to an event like this and stuff. Don't let a little weather forecast. If it looks like it's going to rain all day and night for 3 days or something, that might be one thing. But these 40% chance scattered showers in the morning and this and that, you're going to be able to find time to go out and ride and have a good time most likely. And that's what we did. So, you might have an occasional torrential downpour and you're going to pull off, and that's just a perfect opportunity to check out a local sports bar like Jonesy's or the Cat House, or get a burger at Switchback, or something else. You see the weather rolling in, go find you a place to seek some shelter and have a good time while it passes by.
I've never had to do this, but I will. If it's just going to be brutal at a rally, I'm not afraid to drive there. And if I drive my car, that gives me an opportunity to maybe go search out some roads or points of interest that I want to check out that I didn't know existed. So,
in all fairness, we need to go back over that. You said car, and I think that's stretching it just a little bit. That's a hoopty mobile.
The hoopty. Yeah. Boom, boom. There's no suspension in that hoopty mobile.
Yeah, I think Ray's Moto Life can testify that is no doubt it's a hoopty mobile. So, Friday we did vendors. I know JS went with us over the Harley dealer and stuff. My buddy Nick got his Sinister sound system tuned and add some speakers to it. We got a tire put on her bike. Let me ask you guys, from a vendor perspective, since we're talking about Friday and that was kind of our vendor day, at least me and Jay and Firecrackers, what'd you think of the vendors this year? What you saw of vendors and things?
More than I originally had. With the rain, I was kind of worried that a bunch of folks wouldn't show up. I mean, I understand they got commitments and they've got to try to stay in there the best they can. But I thought the assortment of vendors and the stuff they had to offer, some of it was standard fare, but seeing Sinister Sound there and the Mustang tent and the Fairing Exchange, they all offer so much stuff. And Clockworks. And the whole parking lot was full. You could have, even if it wasn't raining, took you 45 minutes, an hour if you was power walking, just trying to look, walk and look and walk and look.
Yeah, and like the Clockworks guys, when you talk about Clockworks being there, that wasn't just like drag specialties selling Clockworks or Fairing Exchange selling Clockworks. No. That was actually Ryan, the guy you see doing the install videos on Clockworks YouTube channel and stuff. That was Ryan that was there. We had a nice conversation with Ryan about the FXRP fairing again, some other stuff. I picked up a bottle of Shineworks. They warned me, they're like, if you buy it by the gallon, it's cheaper. I'm like, yeah, but I can't fit a gallon on my bike. But I said, it is what it is. But yeah, but that's the real Clockworks employees. They sent employees from Mitchell, South Dakota down there to work a booth for, 2-3 days or whatever. And that's really cool. Cause I kind of, I like that model better. Nothing is wrong with the drag specialties guys, but if I show up to a Saddleman tent and nobody there is from Saddleman, they're all from drag specialties. For me as a content creator, there's no networking or chance to talk to them about anything else, or really kind of they're just there to cash in whatever sale you decide to buy. And they know about the products. I'm not trying to belittle them, but there's no relationship development with the vendor because you're just another guy walking down the street. Where like with Clockworks and Ryan, we get to talk to him. They get to know us. We get to know him. And that's a little different situation. I prefer that, but I understand not all vendors can be everywhere.
So I have a question because I know our group didn't. The other part where they had the band and stuff like that, Bates, did you make it over to that part?
Rogers, downtown Brickyards.
Downtown Brickyards.
I didn't.
Okay.
We went into Rogers only to get over to Highway, was that 12 that takes you back over the lake, and which I hope we maybe visit a little bit about all that, because I've got to have some criticisms of Rogers.
Well, yeah, I mean, we'll talk about that. Me and Kyle talked a little bit today, and when we talked about ideas and stuff too. So Road Rush had her bike. Her husband had his bike pinstriped by Brian Kite. She got some stuff done to her bike. I won't say what because she might want to save that as a surprise for her channel. But they had pinstripers there. They had vendors there doing stuff at Pig Trail, and I think Pig Trail had a good selection of vendors. I think. Chase might be able to speak more to Rogers. He's in the chat here. We'll see if Chase wants to chime in how the vendors were at Rogers. But he said it was better this year than last year. But I still wonder, were there 30 minutes worth of vendors? Were they motorcycle vendors? Were they, selling knives and not motorcycle parts? What were they doing there and how much of it there was?
At the Brickyard?
At the Brickyard and at the convention center.
Yeah, because we didn't make it to either one of those. Yeah. We had such a tight schedule.
Right. And when we saw when we went to the convention center last year and I rode the BMWs, you guys, by the time I got done with the demo ride, you were ready to go. There wasn't
We were sitting around waiting.
Yeah, there wasn't enough for you to see there to be there for an hour. So
I didn't make it to the convention center last year either.
I'm going to be honest with you. There wasn't much to see there. I mean, they had a few food things. They had BMW and stuff there, but they didn't have, like, they had the Rainwater Holt there. They didn't have, like, vendors like I thought they'd be there. And then the rail yard or whatever didn't have but just a few. And they were kind of hidden, where if you weren't just walking down the street and look over, you wouldn't have known they were there. So I was wondering how it was this year. Yeah.
So Daniel here said they only had one bike themed vendor at the rail yard. So that I heard there was a flooring vendor there. And I don't know who's responsible for this, but ain't nobody going to a bike rally to buy fucking tile for their kitchen fucking floor. So, if you're a vendor, if you're a flooring vendor, don't waste your money and don't waste a spot. And if you're the guy who's picking out the vendors, don't put a fucking flooring vendor at a bike destination. Ozark HD Riders, I mean, they went over and I think did the BMW rides. He said convention center had a handful of vendors. Now, Dan, were those vendors like motorcycle themed or T-shirts or, headbands or, were they flooring and, kitchen remodel shit?
And was it worth going there? I'd like to hear his answer to that.
Well, I mean, look, I think the event is great. And I want everybody to understand that if I give, if I tell you there's something that they should do different, whatever, I want them to take it as constructive criticism. Right. I want this event to succeed. I'm not trying to shit on this event. That's not the purpose here. The purpose here is to help this event be as successful as possible. And that means if I've got feedback from my audience or feedback from me personally, I hope they listen to it and that they, act on it. Me and Kyle talked a little bit today and, he agrees. And I said it and he agrees. And I think they're going to work on it. They need a bike show next year. The last year Bikes, Blues and Barbecue happened in Fayetteville on, Dixon Street, they still had a big bike show down at the bottom with the bands and a bike show and all that stuff going on at once, and gave you something to walk around and look at for another hour or two. Whether it's the convention center, whether it's the bricks, wherever they do it, they need some kind of bike show. Whether it's a cycle showcase style event that people could just walk around and look at, kick ass custom built bikes, or whether it's a ride-in bike show with a money and a purse and people vote on it, whatever it is, they need something. And I don't think they've got the room, and I don't think they need that at Pig Trail. That's really like a vendor destination is what it's been. And there's bands there that you can, enjoy and stuff, but they have so much already going on at Pig Trail Harley Davidson. I think adding a bike show there is going to take away from something else. I think they need to add the bike show at one of these other destinations to give people something to do there when they go there, or a reason to go there and spend 3 or 4 hours, not 30 minutes and feel like they drove across town for shit. Quite literally,
Yeah.
Just my 2 cents. What do you guys think about that?
Shannon and I decided last year that we weren't really going to do Rogers other than Pig Trail. We're going to go support those guys. But as far as the Brickyard or Convention Center or anything, that was outside of our desires.
In my opinion, the only entity in Rogers that's jumped in with both feet is Pig Trail Harley Davidson, which does a phenomenal job. I strongly recommend the city leaders of Rogers, they need to either make a complete commitment to this event or don't have it. And right now they've got work to do. And I'm with you, Mike. I want this to succeed. I've had so much fun, years and years of fun going to this event. Right now, I don't feel like it has the identity it's had in the past. And they've got the perfect blueprint. All they've got to do is check out Sturgis. I would contact Sturgis city leaders and just say, help us figure out how to run this thing. Sturgis has it down to a science. They've been doing it 83 years. You've got the blueprint.
And they do. And you're right. And I think that they do, so Rush said that it was a learning curve, and it is. And I don't disagree with that. And I think they are trying. I heard the bars down on the Brickyards was more involved and more active in trying to entertain. Apparently there was an interior designer at the Cat House, but the carpets didn't match the drapes. Pig Trail was maxed out, which Kraft said, with the parking. And that's partially because of the rain and stuff this year. I mean, I don't know what day he went, but they had some extra overflow parking stuff, but because of the rain, they couldn't accommodate everything. So, me and Kyle talked about some of that. And I said, maybe, they had 3 audio vendors at Pig Trail Harley Davidson. Maybe one of those needed to be at the convention center and one needed to be in Eureka Springs, instead of all 3 of them competing against each other in the same parking lot. And that's something, they're going to think about and look at. He asked me for my feedback, what I thought about some things, and I shared it with him. They had a bunch of food trucks, but the dealership was the place to go for anything. The one tent they had down at the railroad was the same guy that was set up at the dealership in Eureka Springs. So, yeah, so it was like a duplication. And, Chase said that I enjoyed downtown Rogers. Definitely not perfect, but light years ahead of last year. And that's good to hear. I'm glad to hear. I heard the business owners were more on board this year, trying to find things, trying to accommodate. They're working on the parking. So, those things are good. That's great. The vendor situation really shouldn't be terribly hard to, resolve. Maybe, the bike show thing, it would give somebody something else, another reason to go down there, whether it's a big show or it's just 10 kick-ass bikes like Cycle Showcase brought. What do you bring to Lake, Steve? You think 15, 20 bikes?
I don't know. Was there even that?
Well, counting the ones outside under the 10, I'd say there was 20.
Yeah, there was at least 10 inside and at least 6 outside. And then there was that other one on the second floor in that same room. But I could go back and go through the video. But even if it's a dozen bikes like he brings at Cycle Showcase, I would ride to Rogers to see that dozen bikes and not
Yep.
feel like I got gypped. What do you think, Firecracker? You know, they're not something you can go see anywhere else.
Right.
You know, so whether it's a cycle showcase event downtown or at the convention center, if I went there and they had those 10 bikes and I spent, 2 hours to go over there and see it and go back to wherever else everything else was, I would feel like that was worth the effort, worth the drive, worth the traffic, all those things. But they need those kinds of things. And the bike show, they have not had, any bike ride-in bike shows. That's what they used to have, is guys that traveled across the country and brought their bikes there. The Indian guy that we know in this part that went to the Ozark Rumble Rally with the headrest and all that shit, he's been there before. I've seen him there. So I think, that's another thing they can do to make that event better, is get some kind of bike show going. And I think that, me and Kyle talked about, and I told him if he needed some contacts, I could maybe try and reach out, put him in touch with Randall, or, I said, look at what Lake of the Ozarks did with Papa Chubby's. Yeah. JS probably didn't catch on to that. He didn't come to Papa Chubby's because he's got Mama Chubby's. You got any idea what I'm talking about, do you, bro?
Negative.
You lost. Bike Fest. So Papa Chubby's is a bar, and Woody, who owns the Sturgis Buffalo Chip, put on a ride-in bike show there, put a couple grand up for prize money at Bike Fest at the lake. So, something like that, whatever it takes.
Well, hey, I would recommend the city of Rogers reaching out to Firecracker and saying, hey, you and the other female riders, what can we bring to the downtown experience that you would enjoy?
Chippendales.
Obviously.
Oh, sorry.
Lingerie stuff.
What would you like to see in downtown Rogers that would make it worth the trip for you, Firecracker?
Somebody that sells all the lighting and stuff that I want for my freaking bike. That's my biggest problem. I go to these places, like in Sturgis, we even went around looking for lighting for my bike and new exhaust and stuff, and none of them carry it to even purchase it there. A lot of them. That's what.
Yeah, but
I mean,
I don't think Rogers can do anything about that. That's the vendor themselves. They don't carry anything but touring shit.
What kind of lighting are you looking for?
I want all kinds of options for my bike. I need brighter lights in the back, and not like they had like the stuff I could put the lighting for underneath and stuff, but like exhaust, nobody has exhaust,
But Rogers or Pig Trail or any.
Right, I understand they can't. I understand that, but
because,
I mean,
and that's another thing just for vendors. Maybe if they're listening, what you have is just like KST Fairing Exchange. They only do bars for touring bikes, and they only do bars tall enough to reach with wiring extensions and not replacing the brake or clutch cable, because they don't want to do that much work at a rally. So they're not. That's all they're going to bring, and that's all they're going to do. And there's unfortunately nothing about Kyle or Pig Trail that can do anything about that.
I understand that, but I mean,
it is still what you want.
Yeah, it's still a suggestion.
You asked me what I would like to see. That's one thing. And I mean, I don't know. Other than that, I mean, I like to just go around and shop at vendors, but I don't really have anything specific that I usually anything that I'm looking for, I can find. Now, if you ask some of my other female friends, there might be a lot of things they might like, but I mean, even there was somewhere we were at, there was a vendor that had, the sexy lingerie and stuff like that. I don't remember where that was at that we seen that, but I mean, I don't really have anything that usually I find what I'm looking for, except for parts for my bike, to be honest.
So Wagonator, what day did you try and get to Harley and could get in on the parking? Was that Friday or Saturday? Because I know Friday it was raining. Saturday, I don't know, if it was dry enough for them to go back to the normal parking stuff. The strip at the big events is always just bikes, people watching for me. Eureka is for bikers being silly. Jeff said, Woody Chubby's, what did I tune into? Yeah, we're talking about Chubby's. That's all right. And lingerie, apparently. So, witchcraft. I saw that reel, that little short of you doing the wild hogs in the Main Street Cafe. It looked like. So
Scared the crap out of half of those folks.
Yeah, that's a big local hangout. Half of them probably wasn't bikers. And they're like, wild hogs, where? So I'm lucky somebody didn't pull a pistol out and start shooting. Hoghead evening. Congrats, you two, on the wedding. Thank you very much, Hoghead Bill.
I've got a suggestion. I got a suggestion. I want to throw it at you three. So here's the thought I had with Rogers. Why not the city come out with a special permit for all the businesses downtown for the duration of the rally to be able to change what they do, what they sell, or what they do. If they want to serve drinks, they can serve alcoholic beverages. If they want to make breakfast items to sell in the mornings, let them sell it. If they want to sell sexy lingerie, let them sell it. Because I still say the downtown Rogers does not have the opportunities, the restaurants and the bars that it's going to need to have to facilitate a bunch of bikers.
So again, this goes back to what you said earlier, where they need to talk to Sturgis. Sturgis has special permits for 2 or 3 weeks, and that's why some shops shut completely down and rent their shop store out to someone else. Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue's not Sturgis yet. I get that, and it may never get there. But if they accommodated some kind of special permit for 72 hours where, okay, you want to sell beer? Okay, buy your beer, sell it out of a cooler, sell it out of whatever, sell it, bring in whatever. I don't know that downtown, the Brickyards has enough restaurants and bars even there, even with the change, to do that. I'm not saying it's a bad idea. But they're going to have to do the special permitting thing like the city of Sturgis does. And that's where they need to go talk to and say, how do you do this? How do you make this work? They need pop-up bars, but here's the thing with a pop-up bar. In my mind, you got to have somebody who's running that pop-up bar that's experienced. If you get a candle shop that turns into a pop-up bar for 72 hours, they still aren't going to be a very good bar. That, they got to know how to make drinks. They got to know how to entertain. They got to know how to serve. They got to learn how to be the cat house. Let's be honest, because that's what people want. Jeff's in the chat, and Eureka Springs killed it. We're the spot to be during BBB, and that's for the nightlife. That is what everybody agrees on. And I don't know that maybe that's what Rogers needs to do is not be that, not try and be that, try and be something else and say, okay, we're going to have the bike show down here. We're going to have the barbecue contest down here, and those things are all going to be shut down by 6:00. And if you want to party, go find a local bar, go find a bar in Eureka Springs, whether it's the Cat House or the Switchback or Jonesy's or the local bar and grill or whatever that is. I don't know and live in Rogers enough to know what the bar scene is like for the rail yards and how much they can accommodate. But it's been kind of, from what we've seen and from what we've heard, it's not been as accommodating to bikers for the party scene as Eureka Springs has been.
Okay, I got something to say here. I did see a post by a company in one of the bikes things for Eureka Springs, and it was a company down there that said they were going to close for that weekend because it's not family friendly, but also because it's not a safe environment. And it kind of pissed me off, and I wish I could find the post because, okay, that's your fault because you could probably make a lot of money, and there's nothing unsafe about it. It's an everyday deal. Little freak things happen. So I just wanted to say that it was some coffee shop or something.
That's an uneducated response. I mean,
well, another thing that we're talking about the accidents in here and somebody died, but I seen a post that said all of reporting things said there were only 10 accidents in that surrounding area and there were no fatalities, is what I seen reported. So I don't know
So
if that's true or not.
I also am in a group that Jeff created about who's coming to Eureka Springs Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue. And there was a comment in there, a question. There was an accident on Saturday night, and a guy went off. They hit a Cadillac. Two bikes hit a Cadillac. I don't know if the Cadillac was in their lane or not in their lane. If they went out of their lane, I don't know any of that. But one of them went over the side, had to drag the bike up. They were both alive when they went in the ambulance. It was pretty serious, but those things happen at a bike rally, regardless of drinking or bars. That's got nothing to do with it. If you could look at the statistics for Sturgis, there are bike accidents every day, and they're not out. It's not like they're all alcohol related or anything else. In fact, like us, we took a limo to the cat house, when we wanted to go down there and actually like drink and stay for a while.
Okay, so this was on the Bikes with No Blues page. Just an FYI, ASP Troop L that covers Benton, Washington, Carroll, Madison counties reported 11 motorcycle crashes worked by their troopers during BBB with no fatalities, is what this was reported.
Yeah. Now somebody said that they'd like to see
only 11 bikes.
Yeah.
Bike accidents.
Yeah, with 100,000 plus bikes in town, in the area.
Personally, I think that's a pretty good statistic. I mean, obviously we don't want any, but that's pretty low.
Chase said parking on Eureka Main Street was also vastly better this year. I didn't have as much trouble finding a parking spot this year as last year. I know Eureka Springs added parking down around the courthouse area and stuff. So I think that probably helped a little bit. Somebody commented about shutting down Main Street to four-wheel traffic and only allowing bikes. I think the problem with Eureka Springs is, if you're familiar with it, there's not a lot of ways around there. I mean, we've looked at, like, if we're on this side of town, how do we get to Cat House? There's only a couple streets to get through or get down to that area. So when you block car traffic there, it gets a lot tougher for the locals, and then the locals are not going to want to support it.
Right.
Yeah, Witchcraft said Eureka Springs businesses work hard to get the customers to come west, and they're doing better than Rogers. I think they are in a lot of ways.
No doubt.
Ray says, if a woman want to see a 6'2", 230 man in a bikini, LOL. That's because they talked earlier, if you didn't see that women want to see a bikini bike wash for the ladies. Honey, would you pay a guy to wash your bike in a Speedo if he was like a muscle-bound, bodybuilder?
Well, probably so. Wouldn't you pay a hot ass chick to wash your bike in a bikini?
No.
Yeah,
only if she was my wife.
Yeah, right.
Have I ever paid a girl to wash my bike? I love my bike more than that. Have you seen that video of that bitch knocking that bike over? That's not happening to me.
No, but I did see him drop the rag on the sandy ground, pick it up, not even rinse it off, and just pick it up and go straight to the bike with it. And I went, nope, I'm done. I'll never, ever, ever. I'm out.
Speaking of sexy ladies, I'd like to thank Flathead's campground, because as soon as I got there, we talked about the wet t-shirt contest and how much we like boobs. And two wonderful ladies accommodated us and showed us their headlights. And I'd like to just thank both of them for being so generous.
So Renee and I saw 3 fatalities, accidents, and Sturgis year. This was the first year we saw any. And Jeff's talking about, as far as safety, we had multiple clubs there who the media tell people to fear, and not one problem. And I observed it on Saturday night. Two major clubs within, walking past each other. Nobody acted out of line or anything else. There's a lot of that typical stuff that goes on in the public that is not, I'm not saying that like what happened at Red River didn't happen. It did. And that's wrong. What happened at the Red River rally, the gunplay, but that's not every rally. We didn't have that at Bike Fest. We didn't have it at Ocean City. You didn't hear about it at Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue. It doesn't happen at every rally. Now, good news for you, Firecracker. Randy says, hell, I'll wash the ladies' bikes. So if he wants that fat boy out of the garage, he may have to come wash your bike because it's going to be delivered to my house. Big shout out to Pig Trail, by the way. They made my buddy Randy here a hell of a deal on a bike. It's going to be delivered next week. And I might even picked up a little surprise that we'll talk about related to flatheads in a minute.
Hey, I got to see, is Jeff still in the chat? If he is, I do have one thing about Eureka. Help us find a place that we can get into for breakfast of a morning, because every time we go, it's so packed, and we were so busy this week. I had to eat freaking beef jerky and stuff for breakfast because everywhere would be too packed for us to get into.
Yeah. There's two big spots. There's the filling station, and then there's the.
But there's so. If you don't get there by 8 o'clock, you're shit out of luck.
It's packed. Yeah. What's that one downtown? The Mud Cafe.
Main Street Cafe.
Main Street.
They're both just packed. You know.
Yeah. So Kelly Edwards said, what about better parking and camping for next year? Well, I know parking was improved this year. Kelly, if you didn't think it was better this year, then you probably haven't experienced it in the past. Camping, Flatheads is working hard. This is their first time there. I don't know if you made it out there, but whether it's Flatheads or Adam's new campground that he bought, I don't know if that's going to turn into a biker venue there. I think they're working on it. I think they're all working on it. Yeah. I think that with Fayetteville shutting down, it's going to be a learning curve for a few years. So whether it's, Flatheads or the farm or Adam's new campground or whatever it is, there were some problems at the farm last year and some people didn't want to go back there, but I do think that they want to solve these problems, and that is the key.
Yes.
Ray wants to know if you found a girlfriend, Steve.
Not yet.
A couple.
Kyle said we typically have more parking available. Two of the grass lots were ruined after Thursday, which accommodates a few hundred bikes. We'll have more parking staff next year. And that's what I'm talking about. Kyle's in the chat here tonight. He knows we're talking about BBB, and he is in the chat answering questions. And he knows that there are things that, from a learning curve. If it rains, I got to do something different. He's working on it. We talked about today. And that's the thing about BBB is I think this is a rally that wants to get back on track. They want to get things going the right way again. At least a lot of the players like Kyle and Jeff and Switchback and all that do. So,
anyone that goes to Pig Trail Harley Davidson and walks around there, it doesn't take long to realize that whoever's running that place is listening and watching, and they're adapting to what needs to be done to have the best experience possible.
Firecracker ran away, but Jeff said Crescent for breakfast. So we may have to try that. Chase thought Flatheads was a blast. My chat's starting to pick up here. We got 43 people in the chat. I'm trying to keep up. Flatheads was a blast.
Yeah. Flatheads, there's a lot of possibilities there. A lot of possibilities.
Yeah, there's plenty of camping at Flatheads available. There's some that were things perfect. No, are things going to get better? Absolutely. A lot of potential there. And I've got some things I'm going to do to try and help, make that happen. So, Lone Cowboy Adventures, friend of mine told me they're putting in a roundabout by the Ozark Hotel. I don't know anything about that. Maybe somebody else does. Hey, Kyle, duct tape will fix that. Not sure what that comment story, but we see the efforts, Kyle, and we appreciate what you guys are doing. Congratulations on the wedding. Hope we didn't miss the discussion on that important topic. Not really, haven't talked about the wedding yet, but we will. Maybe we'll get to that just here in a second. That's great. I like dry camping. Thanks. So there was plenty of camping available at Flatheads. They're working on that whole venue. Your first year is always going to be a learning curve, but the voters will eventually put more people more amicable to cooperating with the motorcycle community. Jeff said that Kyle's in the chat because he wants to hear the people. He generally wants to be better every year. And that's why Jeff is here too. And he's talking about Kyle, but the fact is Jeff, is a big part of the Eureka Springs experience, and Andy and Jones, Scott, Eric at Jonesy's. These guys, I've talked to them, I've met them. They all want to do better. He thought downtown put on a really good show, Kevin said, and that's great to hear. I wasn't down there, so I have no personal opinion. I'm just sharing feedback I've heard.
We didn't have an Airbnb.
Not this year. We've done some of that in the past. Randy was impressed with Pig Trail. Great time, great service. He had a bike problem. He rode in there Saturday morning with a mechanical issue on his bike. He wasn't sure it would make it home. They fixed his bike that day and sold him another bike on top of it. That's service.
Nice.
So not only are we going to fix your bike, we're going to give you choices so you have another bike to ride when you get home. So Wagonaire said Flatheads was a lot of fun. Pig Trail Rogers was fun on Thursday before 5 p.m. That's the rain. Sounds like that to me that BBB and BBQ has outgrown its venue, but the town and the business not only want the rally, they're willing to make changes to make this happen. That tells me it's worth it. I think everybody there is working to try and figure it out. It's changed venues. That takes some time to get all the parts moving again, but they're working on it. Good to see you, Kyle, at Pig Trail. HD said. Kelly said, see you next year. Road Rush spent some good times and a lot of money at Pig Trail Harley Davidson. Terry from Road Rush hung out with us for a while there. We had a good time visiting and catching up. It's time for me to make a long ride to check it out. Mr. Lloyd Blake, what's up, Mr. and Mrs.? Witchcraft says, Kyle knows how to run a business. That is for sure. Pig Trail is a great Harley Davidson dealership in every respect. I have now, spoiler alert, bought 2 motorcycles from Pig Trail Harley Davidson. Haven't we, my dear?
What's this we?
Well, mine.
She bought one. She bought one before we got married. But yeah, and I may have bought something today.
Oh,
something that will. I think they're. As I understand it, we're doing Flatheads at Spring Fling, and we're doing it at BBB again next year. And I'm in prep mode already. I mean, bang! I was shopping before I got down there.
We need to invest in a toy hauler or a camper or something so we can camp.
Yeah, we're gonna have to figure that part out because we may have to trailer a bike because I bought a bike today over the phone. From now, Kyle.
I'm guessing this is something maybe you can ride up a hill.
Coming soon. It will be. Near you.
It will be. It will be something you can ride up a hill. It will be something you could dirt drag that doesn't weigh 900 pounds. For those that were not there, I did not get the purple road glide. That did not happen. Don't even go there, Terry. I know a shop that might work on that for you. I may need your help. I'm already looking at front ends. I'm already talking to people to help me sponsor the build. Pig Trail made me a hell of a deal on a Sportster 883. So we're going to build a Dirtster. Adam calls his that, but lots of people have built Sportsters for the dirt before and call them Dirtsters.
Do I get to ride it too?
Up the hill?
Yeah.
Not up the hill.
All right. Oh.
Now you go practice. We're gonna go out to the house and practice a lot before you ride up the hill. I've seen you ride off road before.
Yeah, I did a pretty good job, didn't I?
Until you hit that pothole.
I didn't injure myself bad.
I do recall putting a bandage on your leg and replacing the mirrors on a DR200.
I said I didn't hurt myself too bad.
Too bad. Kyle said BBB is meeting with the city of Rogers tomorrow to discuss good, bad, and opportunities. And Kyle, like you said, I'm an open book. If you have questions, you want perspectives, I'm happy to help. And like I said, the conversation here tonight is not to tear anything down, but to maybe highlight or bring light to things that could be done better.
Yep.
I will pay double to see Mike hit that hill. I'm going to tell Adam that, and Jeff, if you're in the chat, you just saw Chase said he'll pay double next year.
Well, Chase can pay his ticket and mine. That way he feels better off.
He could pay. So Jay, I believe Adam said that if you compete, your entry for the event is free to Flatheads if you're going to compete in an event. So maybe you need to find you a cheap ass dirt bike to bring.
Man, I got
So
a
you can hit the hill with
50cc
me.
sitting out back ready to go. Let's go.
You gonna put that in the dirt drags?
Heck yeah, 50cc. Let's get it on.
Well, we'll talk about it. I think mini bike races are a thing. So, bring your own mini bike, bring your own dirtster, whatever it is.
Make me a rack to go on the back of the Road King.
Easy, Mike. You're married now. She holds the keys. Yeah, I think me and her both know that that's probably not going to change. Hillbilly did not have maybe the same opinion as some other people here that said it was improved. I don't know if he's been there in the past, but Kyle Johnson, I'll be there next year. We need to talk. Yeah. Ray, I can put you in touch with Kyle when that time comes. And Hillbilly, feel free to share what your complaints about Rogers were. There are people in the chat that care and are listening tonight, and that's how we fix things. But going back to this, so if you guys weren't at Flatheads, you may not have seen this, but I'm going to play a video. This would be what the dirt races look like, and this is what happens when you put a fat old man on a 900-pound bagger. See that thing bouncing around on there? And I want y'all to know, my bride didn't say, don't do it. You don't have a full face helmet. She didn't say, put your gloves on. She didn't say, where's your Kevlar riding gear? What she said was, don't fuck that fairing up. Is exactly what she said. Don't wreck that bike and break that fairing.
I think she was thinking, hey, why get 50 when I get 100% if he dies?
Oh.
I hadn't updated the life insurance policy yet. This was just hours after we got married. Witchcraft says, I'm not up for the hill climb, but I might do the dirt drags again if we have less gravel. And I think we'll talk about how all that needs to change. But yeah, it needs to be a little more dirt, a little less gravel. Outsider looking in, I see a lot of improvements. Jeff at the Count House has always knocked it out of the park. Enjoyed Flatheads the first year. Jonesy's, local tavern, and Switchback were all great. Traffic control was really improved. Getting in and out of Pig Trail is definitely getting better. So there's another perspective on it.
I hit Jonesy's just right when I got into town on Thursday. And it was pretty cool because we got to watch them hang their liquor license up on the wall.
Oh, right on.
They had some issues with that, so that was kind of cool.
Yeah, it's taken them a little while to get that going, but they did get it going. We were out there and had some drinks. Drinks were good. We had some barbecue. My boy Rob was pitmaster, and he was smoking the meat. And I got to say, Rob's meat tasted pretty good in my mouth.
Well, I've heard you say that before, so it must be pretty good.
Yeah. Rob's pulled pork was my favorite. The brisket was not bad. I'm not big on ribs. How was the ribs, April? I gave her my ribs.
They were good.
They were good. So she put Rob's meat in her mouth too.
Well,
so everybody had Rob's meat in their mouth all weekend at Jonesy's. Just saying.
Hey, for meat in your mouth.
Thanks for not
Rob's
showing the
pretty
video
good.
where we raced. Hey, Chase, I had that one too, but I did not show it. You're welcome. Two-wheeling Tom, keep it up, Miss Firecrackers. Could have put it on your head. That's okay. I sleep with my skid lid on. Someone needs to get Mike on film racing. JS, I think, probably has some pretty good footage. He was right up front there, don't you, JS?
Yeah, I've got. I'm kind of sifting through it today, but I stopped doing that to work on the wedding video.
I got some on your little camera, Mike, of you.
Yeah, it ends before we get to the finish line. Remember, of me racing.
Yeah, but I got you the previous race you did before that. The other two times.
Yeah,
too.
the one with Chase. That's the one Chase just thanked me for not showing. You got me racing Chase and Witchcraft.
Sorry, Chase. I'm not going to leave that out.
Yeah. Jonesy's was killing it.
Yeah.
What social media platform can I find videos of the dirt racing? We
Right
will
here
have some
on the Jay
YouTube.
Scoresby channel.
Jay like was on. He was like starting them and recording, and at the finish line and all over that dirt track. I'm sure Adam will have some too. Shade Tree Surgeon was out there recording and racing. I don't know how much he got recorded, but I didn't get any of me racing, but I did get some of other people racing, and I will have a video come out in the next few weeks about that. I got a lot of and some other commitments I gotta get done, but there will be videos of that. So just stay tuned. A few vendors at both spots. It wasn't worth riding past Eureka. Pig Trail had more than the whole town of Rogers. It's Eureka and Pig Trail HD. And I think those are definitely the best spots. I think that the goal is to work on the rest of it and bring it to that level, whether it's bike shows or, whatever else. You don't want some dude's meat in your mouth. Well, Ray, I hear you're quite a barbecuer too. So, just remember that. At Ray's Motor Life, it wasn't dirt. It was boulders of doom. That's a pretty fair description. There was some good chunky sized rocks up in there.
There was in the launch pad. There were some ones I was worried about getting tagged with for sure.
Yeah. And some of those guys, were like going hard out.
Oh yeah.
I think we're going to need a big trailer next year. I'm feeling a little bit like a friendly competition coming on the hills and the drags. I think we are. I think we're going to have to, haul down a bike and for the drags and whatever else it's going to be. Kyle says co-pro, Mike. I don't think I got pro in me, but I'll go for fun and to provide entertainment. The only reason I did it there was because we needed people to race, and entertainment's a little bit of what we do on this channel. So I was like, Adam said something. I was like, I ain't gonna do it. I don't want to smoke my clutch or tear up my bike. I gotta ride this thing home. And then nobody else would volunteer, and they needed a person. So then I was like, screw it, I'll do it. So and it was big of Shade Tree to put up a cash pot for people too.
Oh, I didn't know he did that.
He put up 500 for first place and 200 for second place. He PayPal'd me right there on the spot. That was before I got this beautiful thing right here I've been hiding. So looky here, boys.
Winner.
It says that that says if you could read it, second place, that means I was not first place, so I might as well have been last. Right? Now it works. If you ain't first, you're last.
At least it wasn't a participant trophy.
No. Yeah, we're gonna work on it for next year though. So Road Rush says I'll have some footage on her channel. Jay, I might need to steal some video. You ever want some of your video, man?
Brother, I was
charge
on
royalty rights.
Right. To my friends, no worries.
Two Wheels Down like to more about Bike Fest. Love to be down there in the spring and other bike runs. So yeah, we will be down there for Spring Fling. That's a guaranteed. We're hoping to post a video later this week. We had a blast at Bike Fest Eureka Springs. So Witchcraft Cycle Works also has a social media channel. Check all these guys out on YouTube. They're in the channel here. Chase says, I was riding a 40-year-old Gullwing with a 1/10 of a millimeter of a clutch. The shade tree had just dumped several times on the hill climb. It felt really fast. So Jay and Witchcraft will get together there. Mike, you ended up with second place. Yep, second place. That's how we ended up. We've let the secret out. Jay, why were you not dirt racing?
I was afraid to break my Road King. I had to ride that thing home. Mama son ain't gonna let me buy a new one. I'm not Randy.
Witchcraft was doing drag races with the foot clutch and jockey shift.
And a trailer.
Brian Brandt said flatheads 1 to 10.
For the first
I
year,
wasn't there. Yeah, I wasn't there enough to say that I can really give you a rating. I was there for one afternoon for 5 hours. So we did hill climbs.
But the people that we know
there.
that camped there, and they all had a blast in the evenings there. Yeah. They said they had a absolute blast in the evenings, sitting there getting drunk and hanging out. And that's the thing. A lot of times we just like to go to hang out with our friends. So that would be a perfect thing for us because they're going to have music. We can all sit around there and not have to worry about riding somewhere.
Yep. I'm sure her Two Wheels will have a video out too. She camped there for 3 days.
I don't know if she'll have any of the dirt drags, so I didn't see her up at the dirt drags.
I didn't see her there either, but hopefully she'll do a good job of just breaking down kind of how it was to stay there. I was there at the same time you guys were there. So,
yeah.
And so here's a thought. Do you think that the rain the day before probably kept some people from going, knowing that they'd be riding on dirt and gravel roads,
and not knowing how it was going to be washed out or anything?
Yeah, I was concerned, and then somebody from your group said, "Nah, it's fine." I'm like, "Okay, well, then we're going."
Yeah, I chose not to ride my bike down there because I was like, I don't know, because of the rain and stuff, and my deed was done. I got married, so it's time for me to party. So,
well, Zam was there and he said 8. It was good. Always room for improvement, no matter where you're at. The part we were there for was good. The only thing that was lacking was more attendance. And that's one of the things with Flatheads kind of being thrown together in the last couple months. We book our reservations for Bike Blues and Barbecue usually 9 months, 10 months in advance. And we had 15 other people staying at the same motel. So we weren't moving our reservations and stuff for Flatheads. Right. But next year, I would like to see us bring a trailer and camp and bring a dirt drag bike and hill climb bike. And I would like us to, be able to go out and do other things. But on Saturday, I want to be at Flatheads and I want to run the hill climb and I want to run the dirt drags and I want to be a part of that. And I want to do it not just for myself. I mean, I want to build a bike to do it, but I want to do it because I think that is the kind of stuff that helps keep our industry, our lifestyle alive. I think dirt drags is a really cool thing. And that was the first time I've ever done it. And I really want to see that succeed. So honestly, I'm going to build a bike to bring to it.
Well, I wouldn't mind even going there and camping. But after I've seen by several of our friends that have camped around Arkansas, around there are the huge ass spiders they've seen. They seen one crawling across the highway the other day when riding. I ain't sleeping in a freaking tent. There's no freaking way. Yeah, it was huge.
Who's got a kid named I'm Not Kidding?
Me.
Because it ain't me.
No, that's my son.
That's your son?
Yes, sir.
Well, cool. He tuned in to see how Dad's doing on live stream.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, he can give you a rating 1 to 10 later.
And he got me a fresh glass of tea earlier. So.
Oh, that's nice.
Man, I'm getting low on alcohol.
Oh, he can't reach the alcohol, so.
Right on. So, Ray said, I think a lot of people just enjoyed the bars and people watching a little more. You have to get a certain crowd to do the campground old school stuff. But, we have a crowd that camps for our rally. And so, I think if we knew we could all go and camp there, that they would, because they camp at our rally in Buckhorn. There's no motels. There's no nothing else. JS has been there. You going tent camp or camper camp, or pass out and just sleep on your bike like that one dude did.
That dude was laid out on that tank, bro.
Wow.
On a road glide Sunday morning, we got up to pick up trash, and there he was. We went over to just make sure he's still breathing. Shit.
But that takes away us taking a trailer or a camper, takes away from our riding to and from, which is part of it that makes the trip
I get
good.
it. But how many times have we rode to Eureka Springs though in the last 2 years?
I don't care how many different ways have you taken me to Eureka Springs.
I can add some more to it.
I know.
I can run your ass through
That's what I'm
Cross
saying.
Success and down through Peels Ferry. I can always find a different way to get there. There's plenty of roads.
I never remember the road totally usually, because this time he takes me this way. This time he's always taking me different ways. We may have rode him different times, but I don't ride him constantly where I get to know him. So,
yeah.
Well, Salty Bagger said hello. And then Chase said that he lives, it was short notice on the Flatheads. He lives 40 miles away, but he would camp out there if he had more notice. So, I think, we got to get that. We got to get more people out there, have more going on. And I think more going on will come with more people being out there, more people participating in the bike games and other things. I know Hillbilly said they went out there, I think Friday, and it was pretty dead. So.
Well, and with Adam buying that campground, that's going to allow him to get up there more often. And with him and Jeff, between those two, I mean, those guys know what they're doing.
Yeah. I think it's just this year, you can only get so much done, and they got to figure out the bands, the pricing, the attendance, that stuff. And that's not easy thing. Hillbilly said they got priced out of Flatheads. So maybe it's start with smaller bands that are less expensive.
Yep.
I get trying to bring the big venue, but if you didn't fill the seats, then, bring something a little more affordable and bring the price down, get people in there, and then build up the bands and the price as you can, get the attendance up to support it. So I don't have all the answers. We have a rally that's well established over 30 years that I do. So it's not like I've had to build one from the ground up.
I watched a video with the owner of the Buffalo Chip, and he said when he first started, he just bought a plot of land, and it was for him and his friends. And they'd go out there in the field and party. And then it just slowly, gradually grew. And so for the guys that are running Flatheads, keep that in mind. I mean, you guys are already way ahead because you've got vendors, you had big bands showing up. So you're doing the right things to get people to want to show up.
So I think Two Wheels is asking maybe the best place to set up for the rally and to help more with the Ozark riders. Two Wheels does biker apparel and things like that out of Eldon. We've met them. I would say, that Eureka Springs Harley Davidson's a good spot for them. Maybe the Bricks. I don't know what they had down there to compare them to and stuff. So those are, the convention center. Those places I think need more to offer.
Yeah.
So I guess, maybe we've been at it for an hour and we haven't talked about the wedding. So should we go ahead and talk about the biker wedding?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So, I got a little slideshow I'm going to throw up here because that's the way I got to do it to get it up in the stream. So this was our aisle. This was out at Beaver Dam site, just east of Eureka Springs. We made an aisle of motorcycles with me and hers parked at the end. This is the bitch. So 15 minutes before we were going to get married, actually 13 minutes, she come marching up with an attitude. And this is a park ranger for the Corps of Engineers. And the reason I say that is because she came marching up with an attitude and she's like, you got to have a day pass. And I said, what are you talking about? I don't understand. I've been down here half a dozen times in the last 4 years. What do you mean by day pass? She's like, there's a machine up there. You have to go up there and you have to buy a day pass. It's $5 per vehicle to be here. I said, do we have to buy a day pass if we're only going to be here for 20 or 30 minutes? I said, we're getting married in 13 minutes and we're out of here after the wedding as fast as we could take some pictures and get done. And she's like, you're not going to, get married in 18 minutes and leave. So you have to go buy a day pass. I will be back before you get started at 11 o'clock to make sure everyone has a day pass, every single vehicle, or they'll get a ticket. I mean, not a sorry, but I got to ask you to buy a pass, no, sorry, but this is the rules. And when I asked her when this started, she didn't answer. She, there's a little machine there, but there's no sign that says, hey, buy a day pass. It's $5 to park here or anything like that. She was just rude as shit about it, to be honest. And so I'm calling her ass out.
As you should.
If anybody knows this lady, feel free to tell her that she was rude, a poor representation of the Corps of Engineers and the Park Services.
Well, and we heard from people that are around there that said there's complaints about her all the time. Anybody she goes up to, she's rude to. It wasn't just us. She is always rude to people. So obviously she needs to get a check by her boss that she needs to be a little freaking nicer.
Right. I mean, she could just said, sorry, I have to ask you to buy a permit. Please send people up there to get a permit as soon as possible. She saw everybody walk up there and stand in line to buy permits. And then she waited till 11 o'clock when we were supposed to start. And then she marched down the middle of the freaking aisle and checked every single bike. And like Randy's bike, his thing had blown off, and she made him get his phone out and pull up his credit card things to show where he'd bought a freaking permit.
Well, the word I heard was she's actually Barney Five's granddaughter.
No. What she is in need of an attitude check.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no reason to be like that. It's not like we were trying to steal. I asked when they started this, and she wouldn't answer. She didn't say it's always been this way or it just started or anything else. She's like, you have to go get tickets. I'll be back to make sure everybody has their ticket. Yeah,
I actually was over on the other side of the dam, and you were telling me about that she was doing this, and I thought, well, I know how I was on the day of my wedding. I was a little jittery and a little grumpy, and wanted everything to go perfect. So I thought, maybe he's over exaggerating. Then I get over there, fuck, you understated it. Yeah, total attitude, throwing her weight around with her position, and it was uncalled for. We were all super friendly because we could tell, we read her well enough to know that if we did anything to upset her, it was just going to make it worse. So
yeah, she was looking for an excuse to be pissed off.
Yes.
Well, she's going to regret it because I'm going to figure out how to make a freaking complaint, and I'm going to freaking make her get in trouble.
So here at the bottom of the picture, for those that weren't there, we had a Harley Davidson flag we bought from our friends at Pig Trail, and some good friends of ours ran down to Walmart and got paint markers, and we put this flag on the hood of their car. This is a Porsche underneath this flag. He's got rocks up here weighting the thing down so that everybody can sign the flag with a paint marker. So we have a flag with all of our friends' signatures that were able to attend from the event. So that was a cool thing for us to be able to keep. One of our friends brought it back. He's going to mail it to us because he doesn't live close. This was April's Flower Girls. You want to tell them what they're doing here, Firecracker?
Deflowered girls.
They're handing out shot bottles.
And what was their outfit consisting of?
It said brides bitches on their shirts in sparkly stuff. They wore tutus and a fanny packs with the alcohol in it.
Surprised that little Ranger chick didn't try to cause trouble with the alcohol.
She probably knew that was probably going to be the straw that would break her back.
April would have planted her firmly inside that under the water of the lake on that bad boy.
So we had all of our friends stand in front of their bikes here, and they took turns walking April from one guy to the other, zigzag across the aisle and down the aisle. She got to our friend Travis here, who handed her off to John. John immediately tried to talk her out of it one last time.
So what was the story about the hopping?
So when go ahead, baby.
So me and Travis, when we go out to the bar drinking and music's playing, he jumps up and down and dances. So that's become me and his thing. We jump up and down and dance. And when we were discussing the guys taking turns walking me down the aisle, he said, do we get to do our dance down the aisle? Said, sure. Well, we got going and he didn't do it. So I had to start hopping to get him to go.
Yeah, that was cool. I didn't know the story, but I knew that it'd be pretty funny.
Yep. So all of our friends, including Steve and Jay, all took turns handing her from one person to another. So that was pretty epic. I think it meant a lot to a lot of people. I had a lot of comments on it. Even some of Steve's friends that we didn't know but came with Steve, where he included them. And like one guy's like, I called my wife. That was so cool. She thought it was so cool that I got to be a part of the wedding. So that was a big hit. Witchcraft said they had to get April dizzy before she got to me so she couldn't run away. I know that. I know that's what he's getting at. So, this is our minister. We did this with the lake as the backdrop. Nothing too fancy. We didn't, get dressed up too much, as you can tell.
Even made the minister get a parking pass.
Yeah. Made the minister get a parking pass too.
The minister took a shot bottle though.
They made my dad get two, one for the truck and one for the trailer, because he took up 2 parking spots.
God.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Dandy. And of course the magic kiss. And back down the aisle. And that's it. That's the wedding. Like I said, there'll be some video footage of that. We did record some. Jay got some. The Badgers were there recording. I'm sure somebody will have some footage of that. I had a camera set up. I haven't even looked at the footage to see what I got or didn't get. But that was the wedding. And then after that, we went back to the hotel, dropped off the bike, and went to Flatheads. And no, Ray, I did not put on a tie. I haven't wore a tie in, since 2017, I think. And maybe.
No, you wore one to court after we got together.
Yeah.
A while. The last time you went to court.
Yeah, that was probably 2019. Last time I wore a tie.
I got to fluff my own pillow here. My wife got some good shots of you guys.
Oh, yeah, she did. So are they going to make it in your video cut?
Some of them will.
Yep, she got some good pictures. Chase, wrong answer. A tux with tails and a top hat, the whole shebang. Wrong answer. Never in my life have I wore a tux with tails and a top hat.
I can tell you right now, if I wasn't wearing a dress, I wasn't going to make him dress up.
and Ray said, don't be telling his criminal history. My court case was not when I wore a tie, that particular instance, anything to do with a criminal charge. It was more of a custody issue with my kids. I had custody and was trying to get that, changed to keep custody. So anyway, just so y'all know, not that I'm not confirming nor denying a criminal history. Just saying that's not why I wore a tie. So that was the wedding. We went and did Flatheads. Of course, we left Flatheads about 6. What did we go to after that, Firecracker?
The cat house.
And what for?
Oh, our friend got us wedding cake.
Yes.
So we went there and we had dinner. We had dinner, which amazing as always. And then we had wedding cake. And then we all went back to the hotel and sat around and drank till I don't even know what time we went to.
Did you eat at the cat house?
What?
Did you eat at the cat house?
Yes.
Yeah, great. Yeah, good food.
Always.
Yeah.
Yep. And then while we were standing around, I think it was around 11-ish, somewhere like that. It's when it rained and lightninged, and we danced in the rain to our song. We were actually, because of that gal was like being such a, witch about the parking stuff. When we got done, we were trying to like just get out of there and get away from there, So we didn't even, we had a song that we played for, walking down the aisle. Do you want to tell them which one you played for walking down the aisle?
For the girls walking down the aisle, we played Pour Some Sugar on Me while they were handing out the shot bottles. And for me, we played Thinking Out Loud by Ed Sheeran. And then we walked out to this thing called Love by Queen or something like that. We did. And then we were supposed to dance to Tennessee Whiskey when we were done. But with all that, so we waited. Once we got back to the motel, it started raining and one of our friends put it on because I was tell Mike we hadn't danced to it. So he put it on. So we stood out in the rain and danced to it.
Well, you know,
Ray wants to know how the cake was.
The cake was good because I got what was it? Cream cheese icing. Of course, I didn't eat the cake. I just ate the icing that was stuck all over my hands from cutting it up and serving it.
You ate the piece I put in your mouth.
Oh yeah.
Because we did do that.
Yeah. And you guys showed restraint because I thought for sure you're going to stuff it all over each other, but you did.
I should have, should I? But that black would have taken away his gray and his beard and stuff.
And then I couldn't be the silver fox anymore. So Zan said the mushroom and Swiss burger at the Cat House was awesome.
Yeah.
87 Ricer stopped telling people that. You're all the friendliest group of writers and friends I've come to know. Witchcraft said the Cat House is a must-see place if you're in Eureka. Hello, Truth, though, from 87 Ricer. Tons of fun at the Cat House. I go there 20 times a year, but it's always the best stop to hang out.
Yep.
And then Aaron Morrow said, what's up? So I think Aaron's just got in here. Is that Blowout Biker Productions? It looks kind of like him. Aaron, is that Blowout Biker Productions? Be real.
Well, I can say that I'm really glad that we took advantage of doing we've never done the limo or called somebody to give us a ride down there, pick us up. And the first night, we were there Thursday night, I guess it was, wasn't it? Yeah, because it rained really bad that night. That's when the street was flooding in front of the Cat House. But we paid the $5, the limo guy, $5 a person, and we all went down there, and everybody was able to have a really good time and not this person's got to, get this person back, because Mike's always my sober chauffeur.
So this is Aaron is Blowout. That's Blowout Biker Productions. They did the emceeing there at the Flatheads Rally event and stuff, and so he was helping put on and emceeing the bike games and the hill climb and the dirt drags. And Aaron, since you just got here, you missed the announcement earlier, but I bought an 883 today. It'll be delivered next week, and I'm going to build a dirtster to bring back to Flatheads, because we need more participation in that kind of stuff. So if any of my friends in here, can find them a cheap Sportster or something to build, or an old dirt bike, bring it. Adam and Shade Tree went at it this time around. I think we need to have a new challenge. We'll see who else can build a dirt stir with it and bring it down there, and we'll run them and see what we can do. I'm not rich. I'm going to bring mine on a budget, but I'm going to see what I can do. I got the bike cheap. I need a front end suspension set up for a Sportster. I've already been looking into it and pricing that. It's an 883, so it's going to maybe need a little upgrade for power, and then just convert to a chain drive, mid controls, new exhaust, custom rear fender, just a few things. That's all I want. Just a few minor changes.
Just some small things.
It'd be fun. For those listening, go buy a Japanese street bike. A 650 to 1,000 cc ish. Tear off the fenders. Put some knobby tires on it for less than $500. You could probably have something fun. They try to climb that hill with.
Bill, the answer is yes. Yes, you need to build another bike. We're going to build dirtsters, and then after that, we'll build choppers, because I know you like to stretch shit. But yeah, so Randy's wanting to build something. No, just to build a chopper for a show.
Copy.
Yeah, we need something to build for a ride-in bike show. So three-way, Mike, Jay, and Bill. Hill climb, don't be too weird. So, Aaron said I should have tried it in my golf cart. I don't think that thing had quite enough ass. I rode in it to get back up because I didn't want to walk the hill, and the way we went, it was. I wasn't sure I was getting over that one hump. I was hoping you didn't make me get out because I was too fat for it.
Now, is the deadline on these dirtsters? Is that going to be a spring fling? or is that going to be BBB next year? We got a year, or do we got 6 months?
What do you need?
A year.
Okay, well then a year it is. So I'll just do spring fling, and that'll be my trial run. I'll get practice runs. Shit.
Didn't Jeff say that they were planning on having flat heads for spring fling?
That's the way I understand it. We're going to try and do. Rumor has it. Jeff's, I think, still in the chat because he said that thanks to Blowout for doing a great job.
Yeah.
So we'll see if Jeff has a comment on that, and if that's still the case. But if they're going to do a flathead spring fling, then we're going to have to find a way to camp, and we're going to trailer down the dirtster, and I'm going to do whatever I've got done to it. It's whatever I'll have done to it. Whether I get it all done by spring fling, maybe I'll have a mock set up or a front end change or something. I mean, as long as I can get some knobbies on it and a chain drive by spring, I'll take it up the damn hill.
There you go.
Yep, Jeff just
Flatheads Rally Point, Eureka Springs Spring Fling Bike Rally. So, I guess Jeff, save us a spot to camp, whatever that means. I don't know if we're gonna have a trailer or what we are.
I found us one.
A trailer?
26-foot long, plus tongue, sleeps 4, bathroom with shower, AC heat, microwave work great, fridge is tired. You'd have to put a new one, but it's $9,000.
Okay, so we need about $12,000 in super chats. Actually, a little more than that after Google takes their cut.
It's in Brockport, New York.
Woo! Oh yeah, we need somebody to deliver that too.
It just showed up on Dual Sports and Adventure Motorcycle Classifieds.
My brother's in New York with an F-250 right now.
There you go, Mike.
I ain't got $9,000.
Get it.
I just bought a bike.
It's pretty nice.
I'm thinking you're going to be sleeping in a cargo trailer.
I don't
on an air mattress.
If we have to camp, we can camp. I don't want to get soaking wet, so you better string some tarp up above us.
Well, I need 6 more. I need 6 more subscribers and 1,000 hours of watch time, real quick, and then I can turn on memberships.
Well,
you need 506 more subscribers and 2,000 more hours of watch time, and then you'll just have it all.
I need to make a video.
So if everybody's not subscribed to JS's channel, that was a little hint. He could use a little a little YouTube love. Put him over that hump. So I don't know how many people we got in the chat right now. It looks like 29. I'm gonna go get a link to his channel.
28 of them are subscribed.
I'm a subscriber.
Yep.
I am too. Don't worry.
Yeah, I think April was
I will be any minute now.
Number 95, and Steve, you were like 493.
Sweet.
Jeff, was there? Or,
Steve,
was
Jay's
there anything that
channel.
You did not like about this past weekend at BBB? Was there something that you would not like to see any more of?
Well, so here's one thing. When you think of the big rallies, you think one name. You think Sturgis, Laconia, Daytona. I would like to maybe see the whole thing start over with a new name and just have it one word. Maybe Ozark Rally, Rogers Rally, Eureka Rally. I don't know what the answer is, but I think with all the changes going on and how they're kind of starting over, it might be to their advantage to have one name and then everybody, participate under that one name. That would be my.
I'm kind of partial. If they were going to do that, I'm kind of partial to the BFE. I like that.
BFE.
But I mean, that's just my opinion. I like it.
I think it would serve everyone that's trying to make this rally a lot of fun. I think it would make it easier to explain to, especially to people that are on the outside looking in that don't know much about it, but want to maybe participate in the future.
Witchcraft Cycle Works said they could use a little social media love too. So if we have anybody in here that is not subscribed to Witchcraft, I'm going to throw a link out for their channel as well. Rally in the Ozarks, Northwest Arkansas Rally. Rally in the Ozarks, the only problem is you're going to have is you still got Lake of the Ozarks, which is in the Ozarks. We already get people who are confused about, Bike Fest and Bike Fest Eureka Springs and, should it be Bike Week at Lake of the Ozarks? I don't know if you're going to get them to change Bike Fest after 17 years. I don't know if you're going to get them to change Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue.
No.
Whether there's a Ride the Ozarks rally that takes place in Harrison. So, there's a lot of stepping on toes there and a lot of stuff to figure out. I think in the end, all that matters is Walmart rally. No, Chase, no. Everybody will think it's a rally for, crackheads that like to shop at midnight.
Maybe there's a historical something in that region that they could use that name. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, and then how many times have you guys heard people say, "Hey, did you go to that Babes Beer, whatever it is?"
Or why was there no blues at Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue?
Yeah.
Why were there no blues bands? Where's the blues at? It's that same kind of thing. They tied their name to it.
I couldn't find any. It's.
Well, it was at Jonesy's.
This year it was, yeah.
And Cat House, I think, had a guy cooking some stuff up there too.
Yeah, out there on the patio. Right.
But yeah, that's the thing. You tie the name to it, and then people come to it. They expect to find those things. And it's not easy. I mean, like when I picked a name for my channel, Riding in the Ozarks, because that's what I do. I know that I'm going to be able to put that on my channel. Not every single video is about that, but by the same token, what do you want to tie your name to? Bagger Baiter. What happens if you give up your bagger and you just ride a softtail? What's your name? Softtail Baiter. You see what I'm saying?
Are we talking about my motorcycle or something else?
Yeah, I don't know. You tell me what we're talking about. But that's what I'm saying. You hitch your name to something. Riding in the Ozarks, I didn't hitch it to a street glide or this or that. Gliding on two wheels. Could maybe, there's a channel with that name, but do you expect them to be on a glide? What if they're on a Sportster? Is that gliding on two wheels? I mean, it's all this whole naming thing. It gives people this expectation of what they're going to get when they go there. And it's a thing you got to manage and make sure you're picking the name right, that you can manage the expectation of as well.
I mean, at this point, I think we're just, BBB is going to be whatever we make out of it. Jeff always says, it's a Northwest Arkansas rally. I mean, we went to Missouri to the local to go support those guys, and they had a pretty decent setup for those little, hole in the wall bar that they had. We had a good time there. I'd recommend it to anybody coming through Golden, Missouri.
How was the pizza?
Pizza was good, man. Let me tell you what, it was good the next morning, cold out of the fridge.
It wasn't what's that?
My box would have worked just fine. I didn't need the other one, but I took it because you asked for it.
Now you're on my channel talking about your box.
Yeah, my pizza, my homemade pizza box, my half a pizza. Pizza box.
Oh, that box. Sorry,
my half a pizza box would have been sufficient.
Yeah. But we was giving him a hard time about his homemade pizza box, sitting there cutting the box up and folding it up at the restaurant. I'm like, why don't you just ask her for the go box? So then she come around, we asked her for to go box, and she was like, yeah, because that thing looks pitiful.
It would have worked. It would have worked. It would have made it back to the refrigerator.
Yeah. There's a lot of shit that'll work that still ain't ideal.
Oh, that's true too.
Just saying. I mean, you in your line of work, I mean, how many times you have to tell people that's not the right piece of equipment for this? Just because it could do the job, it's really not the right piece of equipment.
Fair play, sir. Fair play.
I saw you walking through. I didn't know how big that place was. You worked at till you did that reel this morning. I was like, holy shit, they got a lot of shit there.
Yeah, most of the stuff you seen on camera was either broke down or waiting on parts, and then the wash bay was over there. So that's less than an eighth of it, maybe a 16th of the stuff we have.
Wow. So Jeff is still in the chat. He had a comment here. I've never seen Firecracker so happy as the day you got married. She ran up to me at Flatheads. Truly, I wish you all the best. Well, thank you, Jeff. But I think she was just happy to see you.
We hadn't seen him all weekend like we normally do. Normally we see him quite a bit, and he wasn't around.
I had somebody, I saw comments in a chat group today about Bike Fest and Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue need to get together and not be so close together. It's hard for people to make both. I don't see that happening, regardless of what anybody says or wants. The fact is, Bike Fest has the shootout at the lake just a week or two before. They have all these other events that go on all summer and all these things there that they're scheduling around. And Bikes, Blues, or Bike Fest, is always the second weekend in September. And they've done that for 17 years now. And I don't see them moving it. And I don't see them moving it without it being a problem for the other kinds of events they have. They can't move back to August or you're going to compete against Sturgis. You can't move further. You move further down the calendar into October. It's getting colder and colder, and they're further north than BBB, and people complained about BBB doing it the first week of October. So that's not going to help things either. I think the solution, the best I see it is, take a week off and go do both.
Hey, I'm not complaining because it gives me 2 weekends in a row off at work, where I could take off 2 days and have long weekends.
Hey, the Badgers this morning posted a video that said that there are some entities in Eureka that are looking to expand the Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue from Monday through Sunday. So if that's the case, that would marry itself to the Lake of the Ozark Bike Fest. So for those that can't get 10 days away in August to go to Sturgis, they can combine those rallies together and make it one.
Yeah, go do Bike Fest, and then just head straight down to Eureka. I mean, we've done this. We literally would take the whole week off between the two rallies. We would go up to Bike Fest on Friday morning or Thursday night or whatever. When the first time we did it, we only took 1 or 2 days off there because we took the whole week off in between. So we went up there a day or two early, and hey, Hillbilly wants to know your IG, bro. So we take the whole week off in between, and when we leave, Bike Fest, Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue didn't really start till Wednesday. So we'd get down there on Sunday night, and we'd spend 2 days riding Arkansas without all the traffic and without a ton of people, and that's when we did Peels Ferry, and I videotaped that ride, did a video on it. We rode down around Harrison. We did the Arkansas Dragon. We did a bunch of riding for 2 days or 3 days, and the third day we migrated to Eureka Springs, and then we partied our ass off again. And I think that's a great vacation. It's a great way to have time to explore. You could get to Lake of the Ozarks on Friday and catch all the party on Friday and Saturday, stay over and ride the lake on Sunday. On Monday, move down to Arkansas, ride Arkansas Tuesday, Wednesday, and then have Thursday, Friday, Saturday to party your ass off there. And, if you're too far away, you might not be able to do all that. But, man, it's a great way to spend a week and get a lot of events in, a lot of parties, a lot of vendors, and a lot of riding.
Yeah. And Monday and Tuesday, you could even spend in Branson, which is a fun town.
That's where we would stay in between. Is we go to Branson for a couple days, then head to BBB.
Perfect.
We'd actually stay down at Hollister.
Yep.
South of Branson.
Yep.
So BBB in 2024 in Eureka will be from Friday till Sunday, 10 days. More announcements coming soon. Ooh.
Breaking
Well, that's
news.
breaking news. More announcements coming soon. So
Anybody here not subscribed to Ray's Moto Life? You should be.
Yep.
yeah, if Ray does a great job on doing lives. Me and Ray were talking earlier. I called him just to fill him in on what I was doing with the Dirtster, and because we chat somewhere in a chat group together and everything, and Ray really, just enjoys doing lives and talking to people and
Yeah.
visiting with people and sharing with people, and it's kind of like it's a passion of his, to just talk and visit and have a kind of like an open mic show and stuff. So if you guys are interested in getting in on a live or being a part of a live and stuff, make sure you're subscribed to Ray's Moto Life as well. So Jay, do you think, I haven't checked, you were at 494. Do you think we got you over the limit?
Come on.
Let's see.
Apparently only 2 people were not already subscribed to you.
496. I told you.
Damn
I was off by 1.
Everybody's already subscribed to you. Well, maybe I'll get this on the replay.
There we go.
There, yeah, that's true.
Jay,
No rush. No rush.
What you put out here, like in the last day or two that, spiked, was it real?
Yeah, I had 2 reels that do it.
Like 5,000 views, bro.
Yeah, between the 2 of them, I
Nice.
was. Yeah, I didn't even notice it. Shannon told me, she's like, "Hey, did you see this?" And I'm like, "No."
Yeah, your reel this morning from the Back to Work Blues, or from yesterday morning, it's got 2,000.
Yeah. Let's see.
So, yeah, I'm gonna pull this up. This one here.
My last 3, 2,000, 2.5, and 2.2. So the algorithm likes those for whatever reason.
But let's see what's so good about this. Here we go.
Nice pull.
Working the pole for likes.
He's working the pole, baby. Working the pole.
I know where that's at. That's at
He's
the
even got a little
house.
twist at the end.
Damn. Sexy move there at the end.
Hey man, you chase a few strippers, you figure out how to climb a pole or 2.
So
Going off that money maker.
You gotta say you chased. You say you chased him up the pole.
Yeah,
Is that really how you're going with this, bro?
Yeah, I mean, it happens,
It's okay. We all know motorcycle parts ain't cheap.
No. I'm to the point where I'll start working that pole on the weekends for some new parts. Hell,
$20 is $20.
$20 is $20, bro.
Well, we got some big announcements tonight from Eureka Springs about next year. I can't wait till me and Jeff get to have a talk, and he can tell me more about whatever it is I'm not allowed to tell until he makes the announcement. But I am intrigued. 10 days. I just sat down and worked up a whole calendar for next year, and Jeff just threw a great big old bombshell right in the middle and sunk my battleship. Because I had all 15 vacation days planned out where I was going to go, what I was going to do, and now, boom, sunk my battleship.
Well, I know we're all anxious to see what Adam Sandoval brings to Eureka now that he's going to be a business owner there, and with him and Jeff having such a good connection together, that's going to be a big plus.
So, do you think the new campground will be a K River style thing, or do you think it'll just be a campground?
So I looked into it a little bit and did some Google Earth and stuff. Based on what I saw there, it doesn't look like it's going to be a place to party at. It looks
Just a
more
place
of
to
like
stay.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Now there's plenty of space behind it. I don't know how much of that he owns. So that's my big question to him is how much does he own behind it, and what does he plan to do anything with it?
Well, can you pull that up on Google Maps?
Me?
Yeah. Anybody remember the name of it?
Yeah, it's Green Tree Lodge.
I gotta.
Hey, Toby.
And it's in a good location. It's just as you're leaving 62 on your way to Rogers, but it's before all the hard curves.
Mm-hmm.
So it's in a good spot.
Yeah, because it's right there before the rock shop, isn't it?
I think it's
Razorback.
before it.
Razorback gift shop is just after it on the left.
Yeah.
Razorback Tower, which is that observation tower, is just past it. Let's just do the Google Earth view of this thing.
Yeah, so you can see there, it looks like it's basically a campground with the cabins up front and a swimming pool. Like I said, I don't know how much of the foliage with the trees back there he owns, but
so thank you, Toby, very much. We appreciate that. Yeah, I don't know if it'll be a hangout, if it'll not be a hangout like K River is. We'll just have to see. Maybe there's room for him to build something else there or have something else there. I know, for me, I already commented that I want to go check it out. He's got cabins, so we could trailer down. We could bring the Dirtster down there, and sleep in a cabin and go over to Flatheads during the day, or take a ride on Fuzzy's deal and just leave the Dirtster over at the campground, or whatever else. We'll figure out how that works for us and stuff. But it's like anything else in life. My friends have a business. I try and do business with them. If you got a friend that has a business and they're trying to get off the ground, don't expect a discount from them. Go pay full retail, support their business, support them. That's what it takes for all of us to grow and to get bigger and stuff. If your friends won't support you, how do you think you're going to get anybody else to support you? So, I want to go stay at Adams at least once just to support him, help him get this campground off the ground, bring a little publicity to it or whatever, even if it's not a party spot. It's supporting someone else who supports our lifestyle. And, I said this for those of you that were at the Flatheads, you already know this, but, Shade Tree Surgeon put up money for first and second place in the dirt drags, and I won. And so he already paid me, and that money is now hit my account, so I can transfer it somewhere else and I can spend it. Because, like I said, when they gave me the trophy and stuff, I didn't do it for the money. But I think Adam and Shade Tree both are great people to represent the charitable aspect. I mean, Adam has done the Great American Convoy. He's always giving to veteran funds and veteran things. Shade Tree's always giving to Forgotten Angels and doing stuff to promote that. He's trying to promote Seamus, his cousin, who was in a tragic motorcycle accident where someone ran over him and left the scene. And so those guys are always doing charitable stuff. I think they're great role models for that in this world and industry. And so I'm going to split the $200 I won between a veteran charity and between Forgotten Angels. Maybe I'll just give it to Seamus. I mean, I'm going to do something charitable with it. I hadn't done anything yet because I was just waiting for the money to transfer, because it takes a few days to go from PayPal to the bank and so forth. But I'm going to turn around and give that money to someone else in a charitable way and pass it forward.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, Shade Tree didn't have to put any money up. I didn't do it for the money. I did it to make the event better. To give people something to watch. I know Hillbilly's probably not in the chat anymore, but he went the day he went. There wasn't anything going on. I didn't want that for other people, and it takes, I mean, Adam and Shade Tree were doing stuff, but they can't do it all. They can't be the only two that are doing anything. People got to get involved. We got to have biker games. We got to have people to get in there and do it. And I get that not everybody wanted to do it, and why. That's okay, but I did it, and now I'm going to build a bike for the purpose of doing it in the future.
Yeah, it looked like fun. Back when I rode dirt bikes when I was a kid, I mean,
if you call fun riding a 900 fucking pound motorcycle across a gravel road at 50 mile an hour, wide open in first gear, it was a blast.
It looked fun. I said it looked fun.
It was sketchy as shit. I'm telling you what, man.
I'm gonna die.
After 3 runs, this hand was like just from gripping the handlebars with everything I had to keep that thing straight. I mean, a 900-pound bagger, it don't take a lot to get a little bit sideways, and you got 900 pounds pushing you the wrong way. Yeah. So, and it was like Bill said, there was some rocks in there and some ruts. I mean, they'd been 20 runs before my last run.
Oh, easy.
I mean, they tore the shit out of the takeout spot. And there was ruts in there and everything else.
Shade Tree and that other fellow on the Vulcan. I mean, they did 6 or 7 runs by themselves before anybody else showed up.
Oh yeah.
And then we had like
getting on it too, man. He wasn't messing around.
No, that guy on that Vulcan was flat out every run.
Hey, y'all! All those wedding pictures I shared earlier, by the way, I want to give credit where credit's due. Those were taken by my brother Joseph Butler. Joe, if you just got in the chat, I showed some of the pictures you shared with me, just 4 or 5, 6 of them, but he took
I haven't seen any of them besides those.
Yeah, she just now got to see them. She didn't even got to see them. I downloaded my computer and I said, honey, we're going to talk trades. What you got to trade?
Give my fist in your face.
That's not the right answer. I don't know if I went 50 in first, but I was not doing 20. That's for sure. I don't know how fast first gear will go, but I know it was over 30. I know I can break 30 mile an hour in first gear at 6,000 RPM. I can do a hell of a stoplight run.
Mike, do you still got anybody that tunes bikes your way? I know your guy retired and get sold out, didn't he?
Yeah, he had a heart attack and he retired, and I have to call that guy tonight because somebody else is needing something done. See if he's in the if he's set up and ready to do that yet or not. They want some engine work done. So, but he does do dyno tuning for sure.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's by appointment. He has a full-time job. He's still working on building a shop to put the dyno tune in, but it's in a portable trailer. So, he was at the Freedom Rally. I think he'd like to come back, so I expect we'll see him at the Freedom Rally, if not before.
Yeah, he was busy doing his thing over there with the dyno, just doing the pulls. But I'm about to be in the market for a tuner.
Oh,
a full tuner.
Hey, Mike still got to get the exhaust for mine so we can put mine together and have him do mine.
I already bought the tuner.
We're talking Dursters right now. You're going to have to wait.
No.
I bought her a tune license and I bought an air intake. I just got to buy the exhaust, and then he's got to put it all together and make a package out of it.
And it's not that he's buying it for me, just buying it for me. It was part of the payment he agreed to on buying the Dyna from me. Yeah, it's part of the Dyna payment. So the Dyna's not fully paid off until I get the damn exhaust and the bike tuned.
Yeah, the guy on the Cholo took that taillight out on that Porsche.
Yeah, that was Joe's Porsche.
Yeah,
that's my buddy Joe.
Oh shit!
Yeah, he threw a rock and it hit a taillight and cracked the shit out of it on his all-wheel drive Porsche car. But Joe wasn't on a bike. He had a shoulder surgery. So he wanted to bring the bike, and his wife convinced him to bring the car so they could bring photo gear and everything else and stuff, but he wanted to be on the bike. He'll be back on the bike, but I told him you need to take it easy, let that shit all heal up after surgery. We're near the end of riding season, not to be tripping on bringing the car. And then his car, he ends up putting rocks on the hood so we can sign a flag, and takes it to a dirt drags and gets a broken tail light. I'm feeling kind of guilty.
Yeah,
I don't like that at all.
He was
April,
a good guy too.
What kind of exhaust are you looking for?
Well, that's like I was talking earlier. I wanted to look at them, and everywhere we went at Sturgis didn't have any for me to look at for my bike.
No, not too many people make slip-ons for the Sport Glide.
Copy.
What we're actually looking at is Tab Performance and Zombie baffles. That's one of the few I found, and but Chromeworks didn't have anything for it. With this whole EPA thing going on, people got to redesign exhaust, and it's a 2-into-1 setup already from the factory with no cat in the header. The cat's in the muffler.
Right.
So if we change the muffler, we might be uncatted, as long as the EPA is not listening right now.
What?
What?
Fuck off. I said fuck off, EPA.
We might
Unpatriotic bastards.
we might know a fella in Florida that might be able to help you out with that, right?
Yeah, not so much.
Okay.
I mean, I reached out. I didn't hear anything back from Tab, so
That's fair.
What about D&D exhaust? Now that Adam's up in Eureka, maybe he can get Rusty to show up and set up a tent.
Well, I think D&D is a full setup, so it'd be a whole header, tailpipe, all that. And it'd be more expensive than $350. Tab has a $350 slip-on with mufflers. I'm just gonna buy it.
Do they come in black?
Yeah, I think you can have your choice of black or chrome heat shield. But we'll send you a link.
You gonna keep the chrome tip on there, April?
Well, I really wanted a fancy tips on it, but I don't know what he's gonna send me pictures, and I'll tell him what I want.
I don't. Yeah, they've got kind of limited options there on the Sport Glide. That's one thing about it. It is, again, she'd like more options for her bike. Like she's talking about the lights and stuff. But when you go to a rally, I mean, to be honest, 90% of what they want to sell is shit for a touring bike.
Yeah.
Road Glide, Street Glide, Road King.
Well, the Clockworks tent, like a third of that Clockworks tent was custom dynamic stuff.
Right.
Right. But they don't have it for me to actually see in person.
They don't like that. They make
for my bike.
I mean, like she can get the inserts for the lights in the front, but like they make a different tail light, but it's one that like tucks under the fender and this and that, and they don't keep that at rallies. Because how many Sport Glides did you see at Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue?
One purple one.
Yeah.
I don't know why that bike didn't do good. I really like that bike. I mean,
one purplicious purple one.
Purplicious. My apologies, ma'am. My apologies.
Yeah, Mr. BMW says $350 slip-ons. You lucky dogs. Yeah, that's because the law of supply and demand says that Harley shit's going to be cheaper than BMW shit because there's more shit out there to sell it to. Unfortunately, nothing against it, but just the reality. The EPA is going after cattle. I guess they're blaming global warming on them too.
They've been blaming that for.
Yeah, Power Coat Purple. Powder coat is what I'm assuming we meant. Tizen. Ray says she wants it like she goes and buys lipstick. She can actually put it on before you buy it. LOL. Well, yeah, that's the problem with some of the parts for Softail and stuff. I mean, just realities. You go to the rallies, they still favor touring bikes because that's the bulk of the market.
Yep.
And that's the bulk of what's going to a rally. I mean, a lot of these dudes like Steve, what bike did you've got two bikes. Which one did you take to the rally, the Slim or the Bagger?
Pretty simple. Took the Bagger.
If you were going to buy parts at the rally, what are you going to buy parts for?
Bagger.
You don't want to buy parts for the Slim and haul them home, like a whole exhaust system?
No, because
On
I've
the
already
Bagger?
bought it with on it.
Right, but
Well, I
you
guess
didn't go to a rally on the Slim and buy exhaust for it there. You went to a rally on a bagger, and you're like, I'm not buying shit for my Slim on my bagger.
Well, I
Right.
guess I could have made Mike buy me that purple and black Road Glide that was there at the Harley dealership, and then I'd have more options, wouldn't I?
You could keep guessing. Purple Road Glide. You got a newer bike than I do, girl.
She's got a sexy bike.
She got a 2019 with 22,000 miles on it. I'm riding this old ass 2016 with 70,000 miles on it. Who needs a new bike? And boys, if you want to be invited on the show, you better get the answer right.
I think personally, Harley Davidson needs to reach out to you and give you a brand new CVO free.
Right. I second that.
Yeah, I think you two are going to be repeat offenders on the show. So, yeah, I mean, for real, nothing's done till it's done, but we've been talking, and I think I've got the Dyna. I haven't really announced it on the channel. I've talked about it on the lives, but I bought her purple Dyna. So I'm thinking like maybe next week the Street Glide's gonna maybe go up on Marketplace. That'll be our last big ride for the season.
Yeah.
And I thought about waiting until January to see what they come out with. But if I put it up for sale with all the goodies on it and somebody buys it, great. If they don't buy it with all the goodies on it, then I have come, December 31st, I'll start putting all the stock shit back on it. And when January comes around, I'll be seeing what they announce. And if they don't come out with something that like is, this is my next bike for 10 years, then I'll just buy something that I can ride for a year or two, a bagger to get me down from point A to point B. And, then trade that in when the time comes again.
What if Harley comes out with the Street Glide special with some of the goodies that the CVO has, like we've discussed in the past with the suspension and the info system and all that? Would that be something that would get you excited about trading in?
If they give me inverted front forks, the whole suspension package, the new body style with LED lighting, even with the 117, I would buy it. Doesn't have to be the 121. 121 would be sweet. I mean, I'd go to an ST if they did the 121 on the ST.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what I'm hoping to see, a 121 ST performance model with inverted front forks, all that. If they do that, cha-ching, you just run that credit card right down the crack of my ass.
Yeah, I mean, that would be hard to
pay
pass.
right out the ass for it.
Do you think they're going to release that in 24? Or do you think they're going to hold it till 25?
I don't know.
Let's
say if they don't release it in 24, then I'm just going to buy a used bike to hold me over for a year or two. I mean, I can hold on to my bike. I can hold on my bike for another year or two, but the thing is, 2 more years, I'll be 100,000 miles. The longer I hold on to my bike, the more miles I put on, the less I'll get for a trade-in.
Right.
So it's kind of a wish-wash. I mean, I trade in now and then trade in again, but if I trade it now and I get something new, and they don't come out with something I really want in January, I get something used that I can, ride on for a year or two and, then trade again. It's really, my bike's is not low miles. So keeping it longer doesn't really give me a lot of advantage for trade-in because I'm going to just keep racking the miles up. If it was a low mile bike, then, maybe that'd be one thing.
Used bikes are going for a pretty good penny right now.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. I don't know if they'll stay there another 2 years, but if I get something, get rid of mine now and I get something else, and I'm not building no hill climb Street Glide, Chase. You bring your R18. You put your R18 at the bottom of the hill and you show me how to do it, and we'll talk about it.
Shoot that.
What 70K goodies go for? I don't know I don't have no 70Ks worth of goodies, so I don't know, but I don't know if I have enough goodies. But I mean, I looked, and to be honest, I would think, I could be anywhere from 14 to 18 grand for my bike with the goodies on it. I got custom wheels, custom fender, Clockworks, Sinister Sound, new bars, chrome controls, just put Arlen Ness rotors on it, new brakes, new tires. So
What did dyno
aftermarket suspension, progressive, all those things. They're not going to matter to a dealer for trade-in,
Right.
but to the right individual, all those things might matter.
Right. That'd be badass.
I just hope we get the Road King back next year.
We could talk about that, but that would ruin a video for the 33 people that are watching.
Right. I don't know that I'm ready for a fairing yet, man. I don't know.
Road King 114.
Yeah, I could get down with the Road King 114. That'd
What
be
do you
all
think,
right.
Steve? You're a bagger guy, but don't you think after seeing the Highway King? I mean, they built it; it's just got the wrong seat on it and a colored windshield. But I mean, the 114 Highway King is just essentially a Road King with a funky seat and some different paint.
Yeah, that's a lot of money to pull that seat and all them funky pieces off. I mean, I dig the paint. I don't hate it, but the seat would come off, the bars would come off, the windshield would come off.
I had a 2005 Road King for 6 years. Love that bike.
How many years did they kill the breakout for?
1, 2.
2 years. So if it doesn't come back next year, I expect it to come back the year after that.
Yeah.
I think this is a 1 or 2 year hiatus on the Road King, just like the breakout was.
What do you think about the
I got an
deluxe?
earlier warning, so I'm off to bed, says Ray. Good night, Ray.
Hi, Ray.
Night,
We
right?
love you. We love you, Ray. Thanks
Yep.
for joining us.
Raise good people.
Speaking
Yeah,
of, hey, you guys can continue your conversation. I'm going to jump off of here. Okay.
Well, that was quick.
There you go.
Fuck. Hey, what you and Ray got going on?
Nothing.
Ray's gone and you're gone.
We
You
haven't
think I'm
ate
buying
dinner,
that?
No
motherfucker.
coincidence.
Yeah. We will have to call this short pretty quick. Jay, you're 497. You're three short.
3 shy.
Hey, there's Rod.
just got there.
Rod, are you subscribed to JS? We're trying to get JS over 500. He's 497 subscribers with the 94 videos. We need 3 people to go subscribe to JS to get him over 500. Rod, you jumped on late. Yeah, we've been having a good time. You missed the announcement. Rod missed the announcement.
Hey, Rod, I'm leaving. Bye. Nice seeing you, but bye, everybody.
Night,
Bye-bye.
April.
Night.
Night, honey.
Night.
So, Rod, I hear Bike Fest Eureka Springs is going to be a longer event next year. Like, what did he say? 10 days?
Yeah, 10 days. Friday to Sunday.
Yeah, Rod. That's going to, so it'd be like go from Bike Fest and Lake of the Ozarks straight down to Eureka Springs.
Yep. I think sounds like a good move to me.
So Chase said if anybody has any inclination to go stubborn this year, a friend isn't going to make it and is offering his tent spot for free. So reach out to Chase there. He's on Instagram also.
Jay,
It's
have you
been,
ever
what,
been to
2 to
that-
3 days since they're married, and riding in the Ozarks is already questioning firecracker. Well, Ray said I'm going to bed, and she's like, I'm out. And I'm like, man, what's up? Yeah.
She seen that exit door open up. She slipped out too.
Yeah, she's like, if he can do it, I can get away with it.
Right.
So nobody wants a windshield until they ride a while behind one. Then they don't want to ride without one.
Yeah, it is. It is nice.
Rod says I'd get fired. Hey, I'm assuming he's talking about 10 days in Eureka Springs. So let's what's a link? I'll subscribe. JS, I got your link. Have to get some moderators.
Right. Hey, XAN does a pretty fair job. Or was that Rick?
I don't know. Ozark HD Ryers is apparently gone or he's slacking. He's the only moderator I got. He's the only guy that ever offered to be a moderator. We had spam one night and he was like, I'll be a moderator. I'll slam their ass out of here. So I guess we might as well kind of like wrap it up a little bit on Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue, Bike Fest, Eureka Springs, and the wedding. So had anybody ever been to a biker wedding before?
Nope.
Was it what you would expect for a biker wedding? Were you expecting anything different?
No, I wasn't sure what to expect for a biker wedding. I was just happy to be there to support my friends. That's all.
I'm always about simplicity, so I thought it was perfect.
Yeah, I mean, we rode bikes and we got married and it had a wedding. That's a biker wedding.
Right.
I mean, you can do all kinds of shit, but we had it, I thought, a nice place until the fucking law showed up.
Yeah.
But
I thought it was great.
Highway Vixen's in the chat. She said, did you just say BBQ will be longer next year?
Yep.
I did not say BBBQ would be longer next year. I said Bike Fest Eureka Springs will be longer next year. Let's be fair, because I don't want anybody from BBB calling me and saying, "Hey, what we heard is that there may be a longer event in Eureka Springs next year."
I'd like to hear from Vicky. Just a simple, did she have fun? Was it what she anticipated?
I'd be interested. She can throw something out in the chat what she thought of Bike Fest and BFE.
Yeah,
BBQ.
that's true, because she was at both.
I saw her for 5 minutes at Bike Fest because I made a point of going by and saying hi, and we missed her at Flatheads completely and at Cat House.
I saw her at both events, but she was filming, so I didn't want to interrupt her.
Rod said, thanks for letting us be there. He said it was wonderful. Like I said, we didn't get crazy. We didn't try and do anything extravagant. It was just really about us and our friends and sharing all that together. So, I don't know what a biker wedding's supposed to be. I've heard people talk about, we got married at Sturgis, or we got married in Arkansas a few years ago. Bill and Ray from Witchcraft Cycle Works got married at Eureka Springs, but they didn't have a lot of people there. They didn't do it during a rally or anything else. So, I don't know what the definition of a biker wedding is. I just know we had a good time doing it. 501, baby. 501.
Woo!
Thank you. Everybody that's subscribed tonight, I appreciate it. So
we just gotta get more eyes on you. But like them views, that 5,000 views on the reels, that's more eyes. That's a definitely. I might be using TubeBuddy to see spikes on comparative channels when I pull up a channel to get a link.
Yeah,
that's what I can see.
Hey,
yeah, I got 3 over 2,000 in the last couple of days.
Mike, did you have any interest in doing Thorn Crown Chapel outside of Eureka? That's that glass church.
We looked into it, and it was not affordable for us outside of our price range.
I wondered about that.
Yeah, Vicky said totally enjoyed both. Weather was disappointing at Eureka Springs, but still fun. Looking forward to next year. Yes, Vicky. So Vixen, I announced earlier, I bought a Sportster today to build a hill climb and dirt drag bike with, because I want to be at Flatheads and I want to bring more of a party and put on more of a show and give everybody something to watch and entertain and get more people involved. So, JS is going to be, I think, looking to see if he can find one for next year out. Witchcraft Cycle Works. I can, Bill can probably find one. They're probably convincing Bill not to chop it and rake it and make it long and low, because that's what he likes to do. He likes to chop shit and make it long and low, and that's not going to work real well for a fucking hill climb bike. But
Bill got off of here so he could go find one. That's probably what the deal is.
Right. everyone should have revved their motors when you kissed at the wedding. Well, the bikes were all turned off, and so we could hear the minister. But we had plenty of cheers, and we had plenty of great people, so it was a good time. You have two examples: the standard of a biker wedding, yours, and the wedding in Beyond the Law, Charlie Sheen.
Bro, I ain't seen that movie ever.
So,
well, we had little Barney Five's granddaughter was there, so revving up the motors probably would have got her all fired up. Who knows?
Right.
Hey, XAN apparently watches your videos.
Yeah, XAN's a good dude.
And for an extra $5 to rev the bikes, according to the forest lady. Yeah. She probably would have tried to charge us for noise pollution then.
God, who knows?
We had a good time, and that's all that matters. We had a good time with our friends who came and supported us. I really appreciate both of you guys being there on our day and stuff, and we wouldn't have it any other way. So I think we're going to wrap this up here. It's 9:20. I haven't ate dinner, and I'm pretty much out of whiskey, so that's kind of the time to end the show.
Steve, Mike's been good.
Yeah. Jay, it was great to see you. And
good to see you at BBB.
Again.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll see you at Spring Fling, right?
Absolutely.
Cool.
Did the person who married you to use a motorcycle maintenance manual in lieu of the Bible? No. We did go with traditional vows. We talked about trying to write our own vows and that, but we really and not to belittle the ceremony or anything else, but for us, this was about making things legal. We've been together 7 years. People asked if I was nervous, and I'm like, no, why would I be nervous? I wake up next to her every day. We've been living together for 6 months. We've been, 7 months. We've been together for 7 years. We just didn't share the same house, but we shared it a lot on the weekends and things. We both had kids they were raising and things like that. I had nothing to be nervous about. Probably my biggest thing about being worried about screwing it up, running her day. That was the only thing I may be worried about, not the decision. So, but we just, I didn't want to make it a big extravagant deal or anything else. I really wanted to be about, just us and our friends, and not, I'm trying to say this the right way, but not about posturing or what we said or how we said it or what we, those things. It was really just about doing it, about making it official. We're bikers. We ride. Firecrackers rode 14,000 miles almost in 18 months. We ride a lot of miles. And if you ride a lot of miles, you always have that little concern in the back of your head. What if something happens to somebody? So, now if something happens to me, she gets to make the medical decisions. My kids don't have to make them. I changed my life insurance policy today. I put a little more money on it, and, so she'll have a little more cushion or security if something should happen to me. That's part of riding is being, honest with yourself and being conscientious of those risks and stuff. So, those things I didn't have to worry about taking care of anybody else before, really, besides, a little bit for the kids, maybe to get them started or something. But, that's really, for me, it was about making this official and making her feel like she has a say in my life and what happens to me if something happens or whatever else. We had, we've had friends that have gone down or whatever else. And, you don't want to be in that situation where, well, she's not your wife. She can't make medical decisions for you or this or that. So I've never been afraid of commitment. We've been in a committed relationship for 7 years. This just makes a lot of the legal shit, to go along with it.
Streamlines it for sure. So
I guess, Rod, we'll see you at Spring Fling, and there's going to be a Flatheads at Spring Fling. And Rod, I should make you go back and watch the whole 2 hours and 10 minutes that you missed. But I'm going to be nice and let you know I bought a Sportster day to build a fucking dirt drag bike and hill climb bike for flatheads for next year for spring fling. It'll be here in less than a week. So be expecting a video coming on that. But yeah, we're going to try and keep growing and building flatheads and stuff, Rod. So make your plans for spring fling. We'll be there. You guys got anything you want to say? Any shout outs or anything before we go? Bagger Baiter, you got where do people find you at, Bagger Baiter, besides on my live streams?
Yeah, so I'm gonna start doing some shorts on YouTube under Bagger Baiter, and maybe work my way into doing some one-on-one interviews and that sort of thing. That's probably all I'm gonna do. And then I have a Facebook page called The Road. It's a
Facebook group.
Yeah, we try to have fun on there, just lighthearted, funny stuff. So those are my two spots.
That's your two spots. Facebook, though, right?
Yep, Facebook. On Facebook, it's called The Road.
You have an IG also, right?
I do, but I don't do anything on it.
Okay, but if they had to message you, they might find you on there.
They can't. Yeah, Bagger Baiter, I believe, is what it's under. And yeah,
Well,
I'm not on there very often.
Cross post your shorts.
Yeah, I got to learn all that shit. I got to have Mike. Mike's got a giant brain inside his skull, and I need to have him help me out a little bit.
Well, I'm an idiot, and I figured it out.
Well, that just shows you how fucking stupid I am.
Oh,
so Scott, we're going to be at St. Louis Sunday for the Rat Run. So I know you had a job up there. Maybe you should find a reason to be back up there on Sunday for the Rat Run. So yeah, we got the Rat Run coming this Sunday. That's where we'll be at this Sunday, and then that's our last big event for the year. Besides, well, there's a toy run we do, and it runs up to Montgomery City, but again, it's an in-state event. It's not across the state. It'll be a good time. So JS, besides at J Sorsby 1, where else do they find you besides your YouTube channel that I shared a link to earlier?
I've got a Facebook page under Jay Sorsby and Instagram under Jason's Kilt, at Jason's Kilt on Instagram.
Rod says Rat Run.
Oh, no, I changed it. At Jay Sorsby.
At Jay Sorsby. All right. Find you at Jay Sorsby. Throw a link out there in the chat if you want with everybody, for everybody. Rod, there is a Rat Run in St. Louis. If you don't know about it, let me know. Sunday morning, we'll meet up in St. Louis. We'll ride from Shirley's Bar to Long Shots down on the river. There's usually stunt riders, burnout contests, wet t-shirt contests. You're 2.5 hours out. I'm an hour and a half out. So, I hear you, bro. We can meet up there. It's a good time. I've got a video on it. If you want to go back and look on my channel for Rat Run, it was actually one of my first videos, one of my oldest videos. So if you want to see what a really shitty YouTube content creator I was in the beginning, go look at one of my early videos about hitting a goose. We were on the way home from the Rat Run when we hit a goose on the interstate. So riding on threes, got here a little late. We're about to wrap up here tonight. But yeah, you can go see you'll be like, bro, you were stumbling and butt and whatever else. But, yeah. So I have not deleted all my old videos. They're still out there for everybody to go make fun of. But Rat Run, it's a good event. It's a lot of fun. It takes place in St. Louis. So we'll be doing that this Sunday. That's the big deal. Riding on Threes says, I suck that I missed everyone this past weekend, but I will say Pig Trail is totally worth the ride. Absolutely it is. I know K River's going on this weekend. Some people are going there. I think, we'll see how it works out, but I think we're going to try and maybe alternate. We've done K River the last 2 years and we haven't done the Rat Run. This year we're short on vacation for doing Sturgis. So I think this year we're going to do the Rat Run because it doesn't require any vacation time. And maybe next year we'll go back to K River and try and alternate those two. What do you think, Jay?
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
It is K River's fault that me and Jay are now friends.
That's true. No, it's the Country Kitchen's fault. Wasn't that the name of the place?
A little breakfast spot, like what, 15 miles out?
Yeah, north of there.
Yep. Heading
Speaking
toward
of
the
which-
Talamina.
Speaking of which, how big of a impact do you think the stubborn American had on Flathead attendance? I meant to ask you earlier.
I don't know, because I mean, there are some people that are like, unless you're, I mean, if you really think about it, I think Flatheads is a lot of for Adam's real core fan base
Right.
and for creators. But like for me as a creator, it's Bike Fest, Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue, and K River all back to back.
Yeah.
And that's 3 weekends of like, and for K River, it's really at least 1, if not 2 days off work. If I take off Friday, I'm really just there Saturday. If I take off Thursday, I'm there Friday and Saturday. I pretty much burn most of a day to get there. I mean, I could boogie down there in a day, leave early and be there for the afternoon, but it's still, taking 2 days off work. So as a creator, it's tough to squeeze all 3 events back to back. I don't expect anybody to accommodate me or change any dates or anything else, though. So it is what it is. We just got to figure out what time we have and which ones we can do what years.
So is it going to bookend next year? 24 is it going to bookend Lake of the Ozarks and then BBB, and then the next weekend is going to be K River again, like it was?
I don't think so. So I looked at next year, and so Adams, I believe his rule for K River is that it is the first weekend in October, right?
First full weekend in October, yes, sir.
That's my
Right. Well, I don't know if it's first full weekend, because I think last year it was also on the weekend, even though first was on Sunday.
Right.
And this year first is on Sunday. So it's the weekend after, but next year it'll be a day later, and so there might be a break between it and BBB.
Yeah, it looks like the October 4, 5, 6 for Stubborn next year.
That's what I'm thinking. And that'll be give us a weekend in between the two.
Gotcha.
So I'm thinking next year I'll be able to do BBB and K River. And that'll make it a little easier from logistics and travel and being away from home. And, if we don't, spend as many days, we'll just have to plan accordingly and not take as many days off somewhere else.
Right. Well, you're not planning on Sturgis next year, but with Eureka extending their days, that's another week.
Yeah, it's getting complicated, bro. I got to figure this out.
But you already planning on taking.
Can somebody get me an abacus?
Right. You were already planning on taking the 2 days off at the end, so it's not really stripping. It's only going to strip 3 more days out of it, whereas Sturgis was a full 5-day work days, right?
Right, but like next year we're planning on doing Daytona instead of Sturgis.
That's right.
So that's 5 days there.
Okay.
So
yeah,
I mean,
and you've only got what, 15, 13 days?
I only got 15 days for another couple years.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. I'll be 3 years in the spring. I'll grab a week, and I'll grab a week, but I earn it as I go. So, but that summer it'll start adding 3 years from now.
Ours resets January 1. So
mine's based on your anniversary hire date. You gotta be there 10 years before you get a jump. 10 years before I get my first jump in vacation.
We got a week the first year, 2 weeks the second, 3 weeks the third, and then it rides out.
But I'm allowed to have Taco Bell on Thursday night and stay home sick on a Friday a lot.
Oh no, they all of ours is in the same pool. Whether you're sick or on vacation, you get 15 days.
See, mine's not.
Oh yeah, I wish 15 days off and plus 5 sick days. That'd be awesome.
5 sick days. Shit, I'm talking 15 sick days. I mean, a lot of Taco Bell next year.
Right? That's a month. Lots of Taco Bell.
I get as much sick time as I get vacation, so I'm lucky there.
1 for 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, guys, we're going to call this a night. I want to thank you, everybody, for joining the stream and stuff. We've had a good time tonight. I want to thank everybody that came out to see us get married at Beaver Dam. I apologize for the park service, even though it's not my fault that she's a cunt. Just saying, keeping it real. And y'all stay safe. You keep riding. We're going to be back here in 2 weeks. I got to find another guest, and we'll do something. We'll talk about something. That's what we do.
Hell yeah.
Everybody in the
All
chat,
right.
be safe out there.
All right. We'll talk to y'all later. Be safe. Keep on riding. We're out.